Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Grappler Union podcast. Javier Palomo alongside Anthony Zito. Our guest today is Sam Ferguson. Sam is a black belt and 1/3 of Blue Jitsu. Enjoy.
I hate the 6 minutes. It's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You taught me using any technique that works. Never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
Good. All right, we're live. So, as our guest just found out, I don't do any research on anyone. I'm like, so your name is what? I don't know who you are.
I've never seen a greater degree of disappointment.
He's like, yeah, dude. I'm like,
he found out you're a non-drinker.
I don't drink.
You barely know who he is.
What is that?
This is
some
amazing.
bourbon from Bourbon, Kentucky.
That's a bourbon?
Authentic, straight from the barrels.
The only bourbon legally distilled in Bourbon County since the Prohibition.
Wow.
Hartfield and Company is good friends with one of my good friends and training partners, and one of the thirds of Blue Jitsu, Paul Hogan, and so he's good friends with the guy who runs that distillery.
Oh yeah.
So I had him run up to the distillery and pick me up a bottle, and I was gonna have a drink or two with you guys here, but
we're terrible human beings.
But apparently you guys are responsible and you don't drink, so
right. Paul Maloney right now at home, pulling out his hair. He's like, finally a guest that brings something that isn't like a cheap 40.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like that. I would say that's definitely my top 5 bourbon. So
really,
yeah, y'all are missing out on it.
Man, do they have that like in bars and restaurants, like in Illinois?
So off the so I think I pulled a. Smoking the Bandit, bringing it up here. They don't
really?
Yeah, I don't think it travels across state lines.
Oh wow.
Oh well.
Luckily you're a cop. So.
Yeah.
I mean, or
I don't know. Or we shouldn't have said that.
You have the power to edit all of this out before it goes on air.
So it was Junior's birthday now, so I was getting a couple bottles. I was like, yeah, grab one, I'll bring it to the guys at the studio. Nice. And
how was Junior's birthday?
I was good. There's a bunch of good guys there. They taught seminar. Seminar wasn't necessarily a whole lot of stuff that I would use.
Yeah.
They were all, we're going to rip the lapel out here. Well, so, like, I got nothing against sporty stuff, right? Like, it's like, there's some things that, like,
translate.
Yeah, and some things that don't, right? Like, I think, realistically, passing guard in a MMA situation or something like that isn't necessarily... That's in my mind almost like sport specific. Like you're going to advance your position, but is passing to side control that much more advantageous for your striking than getting somewhere else?
No,
I mean, definitely. Like half's better than full guard because you can Turk them and sit on their legs.
Sure,
right.
But like I don't think you get much more punching strikes being in side control than you do inside somebody's guard.
Yes,
right. Yeah,
I agree with that.
And you're equally far away from mount.
Well, side control for ground and pound, I don't think is great at all because
no, I mean like you can do stuff like you remember like Roy Nelson, like he'd fat on people.
Well, he's just
he
exactly.
he like hit those little, and it was like they couldn't do anything, but they weren't getting to get actually hurt.
Right. No, I think that from side control because I'm little, obviously. When I have someone in side control, my main focus is to just control. It's called side control. Some call it side guard. But
who calls it side guard? Who are these people?
I heard people calling it side guard.
It's not side guard. It's not side mount.
Right.
I've definitely heard side mount more than side guard.
So I have to do everything I can to keep that person there.
Are you saying you could not let go and rain some
I don't think I can let go.
Yeah.
Exactly, and start elbowing without them now advancing or moving on.
You can drop some elbows. Like post on their face and drop.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah,
I lift up and like nail him with a knee if that were legal, which it isn't anymore.
You need the body, right?
Knee to the body really doesn't have quite the same impact.
But still, you're creating space. At some point,
no, for sure.
You have to create that space. And at some point, if they're a good grappler, they're going to take advantage of that space you've created. Whereas, half guard, you get in that half guard position, their legs are crossed and you're kind of tying yourself to that person, and that's where I think, or full guard, you lay down more ground and pound.
I mean, full guard, you got a lot more risk of counterattacks.
Of course, yeah.
But
Than half guard.
So versus half.
I'm a big believer in half guard. It's probably not, you don't want to be on bottom in MMA or anytime ever.
Ever?
No,
Unless you're Ryan Hall.
I'm just saying, like me, like personally, like
You're a dominant top player.
Well, first of all, how big are you?
How big is he?
How big are you? That'll tell you a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm a decent sized guy. I'm not huge. I'm 6'2", 215-ish.
That's all. Decent size.
Well, I mean, like
A bit bigger than Zito here.
A little bit bigger than me.
yeah, well, I mean, like Jeff Burdorf, like one of the guys you train with, like that's a big guy.
How big is he?
Like 0.9 of an Evinger. so he's like
fantastic unit of measurement.
well, like so Tim Nevinger, right?
Yeah,
Tim
he's been on
Nevinger's
before.
an absolute
Yes.
friggin' mountain. He's like 6'4", like 350.
Yeah, he's giant.
And then Jeff Bordorf is like 6'4", and when he's in shape, he's like 280, 260.
It's a lot of man.
Yeah.
But 6'2" that's still big.
No,
guy.
once again, this is all relative.
Of course.
Yeah, so
of
that's
course
why I
it
use
is.
like the increment of 0.9 of Nevinger, right? Like Nevinger's like a full mountain of a man.
Yes.
This is my new favorite
I
unit of
don't
measurement.
think he couldn't fit in the chair. Nevin.
Tim
couldn't fit in that
Where'd
chair.
you sit him?
We got him Bruno's chair out there. We had to bring Bruno's chair there because he couldn't
Okay, now
fit
that
between
you
there.
said that, I remember you guys saying that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. He's
Yeah,
a big guy.
like that. Like that's a big guy.
Yeah.
And you
big-
definitely
bigger
don't-
guys don't like to be on their back. They like to be
As a general rule, yeah.
general rule. They don't want to be down on
Although,
their back.
did you? Did anyone in the room other than me? You watch Fight to Win the other night?
I did not.
Okay, so some good matches.
Yeah.
I watched it because Vagner was on the main event. Nikki Sullivan was what was she, like third to last match?
Can you give me some results?
Nikki won by decision.
Nice.
Wagner lost by decision.
Good.
Oh, against
I like
JT,
Vagner.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
I watched the match and
Yeah,
I didn't watch. I watched like the highlights.
I mean,
It was good.
I definitely give it to JT. Like no doubt there. That was unanimous. That was actually kind of a classic situation of neither of those guys wanted to be on bottom. They fought a lot to stay at to win the takedown battle.
Okay.
JT
Well-
eventually got him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was.
What do you think that is? Do you think?
Gravity.
Yeah, I know, right? No, but why at that level? Like I like playing guard. That's just. But I'm
Because you're
I'm-
silly.
Yeah. Right now, I'm currently a purple belt. I like playing guard.
You like pulling guard.
I like
too.
to pull guard
Like,
too. It doesn't
yeah.
bother me. It doesn't.
It should
I
bother
love.
you.
I like. It should bother me.
It should.
I like.
You got a judo book over here. I saw.
Oh, yeah,
What's
yeah.
going on?
I'll explain
we'll
that
talk
later.
about that soon.
Yeah, you see that judo
But-
book? Yeah, it's badass, isn't it? So I don't understand. I feel that people who are black belts like Vagner and JT, they shouldn't have any problem with pulling guard or being on the back and then being able to sweep or being able to oppose some type of game.
Stop.
Why? Why is that stop?
Because I ain't. Who's sweeping JT Torres?
I don't know.
Oh, well, that's the problem here. You don't know.
Why not? Why was that impossible to sweep him?
I mean, okay, sweeps in no-gi are generally harder to pull off than in gi. And this
Okay.
was a no-gi match. So that's
Okay.
one thing. Two, like if we look at both their respective games, I'd say they're both pretty dominant top players.
Mm-hmm.
Both have pretty good takedowns for jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. JT's got savage top pressure, really good passing.
Mm-hmm.
Wagner's got savage top pressure, really good passing. Like they both want
So
that top
is it
position.
just a wrong matchup? Is it just become a stand-up fight then?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a wrong matchup, but yeah, like you got two guys that are going to butt heads wanting the same position.
So-
neither of them going to want to pull. So it's going to be who wins the takedown battle there.
So I think another thing you need to think about too is like I was listening to an interview with Keenan the other day, and what he was
Matt
saying,
Burn podcast or just an interview?
podcast, something
Okay.
like that. I was just like getting clips of it because I like to hear what those guys are saying.
Yeah. Actually, I listen to their podcast. It's
Yeah,
really, really good.
I mean, like the issue with me in podcasts is like I listen to everything at work, so between trying to keep track of the radio maybe my girlfriend's phone conversation, and
Fiance.
your fiance, yes. Between trying to keep track of
I
those
wasn't
two
judging.
things, I got podcasts going too, and trying to like look for people doing dumb stuff. Sometimes it's a bit
Sometimes
much.
you miss something.
Yeah, but Keenan was saying that anymore, the reason why he says he doesn't like no-gi is because once you get a takedown, it's too easy just to back away and like, okay, I don't like where we're at, we're going to reset. While the gi,
Right.
they can tie you down, hold you in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also from bottom, it's hard to sweep no-gi. So most stuff they're doing is going into leg entanglements and then sweep from there.
Right.
Right.
And with both those guys being primarily IBJJF competitors, they're probably like, I'm not a leg locker. So I don't want to be in a position where my best move is going to be a leg attack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get about it too, right? Like, that's kind of what I think about. Because like, I know like for me, whenever I compete, my game plan doesn't change much based around the rules. Like, my game is pretty strictly IBJJF.
Okay.
Like, because that's what I'm most interested in is, like, winning IBJJF gold medals as far as pure
Right.
jiu-jitsu goes. So, like, I don't spend a whole lot of time training heel hooks or anything like that. It's a lot more about, all right, how am I going to get my takedown? How am I going to get up on top? Then how am I going to pass? And then from there, eventually I'll keep wearing on them and find my submission or whatever I'm going to next.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, me,
But
like...
that doesn't translate to like stuff that you do for your job though. Or does it? Like if you had to take someone down or do something like
No, so I
you
use...
do same type of sport.
Well, I mean, so like everything's gonna change based around like what you're doing. I'm gonna be a little bit more, conscious of like wrist control, beating. Like, I'll still get like,
yeah.
I'll still do belt grip sometimes. I'm trying to think. Well, I really don't change much, right?
No. Okay.
Because like my game is like very MMA. You have to begin with like
Right.
heavy top pressure, a lot of Greco-y takedowns. So there's not much I changed. One funny story, I was still on FTO, which is like your apprenticeship as an officer. And I get out with this guy who ended up having a warrant. And I'm like, no, like, hey, we're going to arrest you for criminal trespass. I need you to come back here, blah, blah. And he's like, no. And like, all right, so I follow him for a little bit. Finally, we get in there. I get like, I'm like, I need you to turn around and face me so we can. Sorry.
No problem.
So we can, talk and figure out what's going on here, blah, blah, blah. We become like entangled, and I pick him up on my hip like I'm about to do like an Uchimata. I'm like I had his feet off the ground, like it was about to go all the way
You're
over.
gonna drop him hard on his head.
Yeah, like right in the middle of this freaking 7-Eleven in the hood, and I'm like, I'm still on FTO. If I freaking put somebody's head through the concrete, they're probably gonna fire me, and I'm gonna be stuck here in Kentucky without a job.
Yeah,
Right.
Damn.
So
So you didn't. You put him back down nicely.
yeah, I put him back down nicely, and I ended up hitting an inside trip.
Much softer landing.
Yeah, I mean, I can control his head
So
from
it's
bouncing.
frowned upon to do something like that's more than excessive force.
I mean,
That depends. Are you on camera at a 7-Eleven or not?
It's true.
well, I mean, my body camera is always running time I'm out with somebody
that's
like
great.
that. Yeah. So,
That's got to look interesting from body cam footage when you like blast them with an Uchimata, throw them onto their head, and just woo.
yeah. Meanwhile, my lieutenants are there. Eep on. No. So at that point, he wasn't like really like actively trying to like hurt me. If he was like actively trying to hurt me, I felt like we really had to fight.
Yeah. Was he as big as you?
He was a little skinnier.
I think I would just look at you and be like, okay, what do you need me to do? Okay, I'll do that. Thanks.
Well, that's why your future as a criminal is probably in question here.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
maybe a white collar criminal.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's the worst kind.
Doesn't work. So you didn't do. You took him in nicely.
Yeah. Like he wasn't really trying to hurt me. He just
Right.
didn't want to go to jail.
And you inside tripped him. You had no respect for his guard. Immediately passed. Knee on belly.
So I passed, and during the academy, they're like I would start doing stuff, and they're like, "God damn it, Ferguson, you can't do that." And I'm like, okay. So like, I didn't have necessarily like, I was still kind of in academy mode where they're like, "That's not in the PPCT manual. You can't do that." So like,
What is it that you can't do? What are they thinking you can't do?
So like
Rear naked chokes, right?
yeah, that's
Definitely
frowned
those.
upon.
Yeah.
Really? That's
Drives
frowned
me
upon,
nuts.
huh?
Have you ever heard of Eric Gardner?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's
I guess.
So let's break this down, because obviously Zito doesn't really know, and I'm sure plenty of listeners don't know. Even though to you and me and most of the rest of the listening audience, probably the choke probably seems like one of the safest and most humane things you could possibly do to a guy. Unfortunately, there have been way too many incidents of people being killed, badly injured by incorrectly applied chokeholds.
Right.
I think that realistically, it all comes back to Eric Gardner. You know what I mean? Like
That's the big
Yeah,
media
and-
case, right?
yeah, and I mean it was also an issue. It was already banned by that department before then.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just kind of more in people's head. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna choke him to death." It's like, nah, you're probably not.
Right. Take some special circumstances typically.
Yeah, they say like after you put somebody unconscious, you have to hold the choke for another like couple minutes to actually kill him.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, to the blood to the brain. I mean, or the oxygen to the brain.
Right. Well, I mean, it goes above and beyond that, though. Like also, let's be honest. Like, we don't know everyone's medical history when they're in the academy, but like we can be reasonably safe to bet that if they're doing things and physically fit and whatnot, it's probably pretty safe to choke them in a safe, controlled environment.
Right.
But yeah, like you have no idea what somebody's condition is. They could freak out. They've never been choked before, have a heart attack, something like that.
I would even be more worried about them having like an aneurysm or something like that.
Right.
So
Yeah, you're right, because you don't know what their health condition is currently.
Yeah,
And Eric
and-
Gardner for sure was not the healthiest looking guy.
no,
I would say not.
Yeah, I think he actually died of a heart attack and it wasn't related to the strangle.
Right. The
Yeah.
official autopsy.
I mean, there was what, six people on him, on that guy. I mean, just when I first started jiu-jitsu, how suffocating I felt with one person on top of me. I was like, get me the hell, with the gi. It's just like, oh, get this person off, man. And you just feel that.
Right. That sense of
What's the word I'm looking for?
yeah. The wrong version of it has come in. Claustrophobia.
That's
the
it. Thank you.
claustrophobic.
That
feeling.
claustrophobic feeling. And I can imagine someone like Eric Gardner, how big he was. He's probably not used to people holding him down because he's such a big dude. And now you got 6 people on him, all trying to hold him down. He just wants to get up, and it's just you're freaking out, panicking. The adrenaline's going up, and you can't do anything about it. Yeah, that's terrifying. Terrifying. I would never want to be in that position. However, the flip side of that is just comply. But why can't people? I see these videos all the time. Why is it just human nature to just not want to comply? Like people are just like, nope, I'm definitely not gonna do that. I know this is gonna probably end up bad for me, but you know what? I'm just gonna say no. I'm not gonna comply with you, officer.
So, I think, a lot of these people, like, everybody's kind of like, they're like math problem with their head. Like, before I do something, all right? Like, before I buy a gun, like, number one is like, I want this. I already know I want it. Mm-hmm. 2, do I have money for it? And after that's like, what's my wife think? My fiance think? Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, I shouldn't buy the gun. It's not worth it because of one of those 3 things. But these people, they're like, well, I'm already going to jail, whether I fight or not. So if I go ahead and fight, whatever the assault third, fleeing, it's going to add like another 6 months to my sentence based on how bad the fight is, probably. And they might even serve it concurrently. So I'm not risking anything because I'm already got, 5 years on the shelf or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if I take off, what's another 6 months with good behavior, state time, it's like 2 months.
With the option of maybe getting away.
Yeah.
Is that
So
what you're
like
thinking?
in the grand lottery, it's like,
This is worth the gamble.
Yeah,
in the math. The math adds up in their favor to take the gamble.
That's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's just, and it's got to be something, obviously we're talking about, I don't know if a lot of these people are highly educated. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. But it's got to have to do something with their educational level where it's like, you kind of wonder, what is their background? Like when you approach someone and say they do have a warrant for their arrest and you know this, you're like, okay, this person, does that go through your mind? Like, okay, is this person reasonable? Probably not. So what goes through your mind? You're like, this person's not going to be reasonable. Is the fight worth the rest? Like, do you ever have to battle with that, like, in your head, like,
So if they have a warrant, they're going to fucking jail.
no matter what, whatever that warrant, does it tell you what the warrant's for, or no?
No.
You just have
Sometimes I'll know. Sometimes I won't.
sometimes you won't. So the warrant could be something as petty as whatever it is, or as
so, like,
serious.
One of the most petty warrants I ever served was a guy had a $25 seatbelt ticket.
Okay.
Didn't pay his fine.
Yeah.
Didn't show up to court.
Yeah.
And, I didn't know what it was for,
Right.
but it wouldn't have mattered. Like, you've got a warrant, you're going to go to jail. Like, that's, in
That's
our
how it works.
law. Yeah, like, sorry.
Yeah, I get that.
So, like, if he wanted to fight, we would have scrapped, and I'd have drug him out of that car and taken him to jail. Like,
But do you think? I know that you're currently an officer, but do you think that would have been like, come on, man, that would have been like $25? Okay, so a
well,
warrant.
so the worst thing about it, too, was literally, I even offered to drive him back to his car afterwards because you get it's either 50 or $25 a day in Kentucky for each day you serve.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, $25 ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. Shows up to jail.
One day in.
No.
Not even.
Once he's been in handcuffs, that's 1 day in custody.
Oh.
Damn.
So, like,
Wait a second.
So let's say I arrest somebody at 11:45 p.m., 23:45. Take them to jail. From the moment I put cuffs on them, they're in custody. That's 1 day.
Okay.
So, like,
Clock rolls over.
yeah, clock rolls over, starts over. So if they have, like, $100 they need to pay or whatever, at like 8 a.m. the next day, they're free to go.
What part of this is I'm just because I don't mean
You're
I don't,
stuck on this. I can tell.
Well, here's what I'm stuck on, and this sometimes because I was just my birthday the other day, so I'm a little older.
Yeah, you're.
I feel like I'm a
You're a
little
lot older.
Yeah, sorry, you're
lot
what, 46 now?
44. So I sometimes, as I get older, I start thinking about things differently. And it bothers me a little bit where it's like serve and protect. That's on all the police cars, right? Serve and protect. A $25 ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. And I understand it's the law and I get it. And it's also a law that in Illinois, you have to have a front license plate. And if you don't, you get fined. But in Indiana, they don't give a shit if you have a front license plate. Kentucky either. So what bugs me a little bit, and then if I'm on a motorcycle, I don't have to wear a seatbelt at all. Some you don't have to wear a head. What I'm getting at is that it just seems a little bit crazy that a guy gets a warrant for like a seatbelt thing, and then he would be, because you may or may not know what that warrant is for, and you could pull this guy out. You're a criminal. You're this. You're going to jail, and it's just come on. Like, what was he going to jail for? Possibly harming himself because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. It just gets so ridiculous.
So, like, me personally, I agree with you 100%.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of stupid laws on the book. And, to a certain extent, like, we have discretion on what we enforce and what we don't. But at the same time, a warrant's a shall arrest.
Right.
So, like, for him, it's like he could pay his fine and not get it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but at the same time, like, I don't think seatbelts should be a law. I don't think there's a lot of things in law that should be a law, but it is. So,
Right. And it's not you to choose what is the law. You just got to
Yeah.
enforce. Right.
But that's
Yeah.
where I get like protecting the serve part of it. That's where kind of like, where does that fall in line? It sounds like you're just trying to collect revenue. You're just like a revenue collector.
I don't like.
get what I'm saying,
No,
right?
I
Yeah.
definitely do. Like me, like I'm a relatively like hardcore libertarian, which is like a weird position for a police officer to be in.
Yeah, that definitely does seem like a.
Yeah, no, it is, because there's a lot of
mental
stuff
conflict.
like I don't think you can protect people from themselves.
Right.
If you don't want to wear a seatbelt,
right.
like you're not just hurting yourself, of course. Like you're hurting your family,
Right.
but it's none of my business. More or less.
Right.
Like because of the law, I do enforce, and I have written seatbelt
But then there's
tickets.
great lines where it's like, I would definitely not want that kid in that car who has no idea.
So one thing
to
I-
then not wear a seatbelt.
One thing I am anal about: if I see your kid in a car, not in the proper restraints,
Sure.
I'm freaking chewing you out and I'm writing you a ticket.
Right.
But if you're a grown adult, 16 even, you know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want to wear your seatbelt, that's on you.
I mean, you have to be 25 years of age to rent a car. There's a reason for that. That's because the cerebral cortex isn't fully developed in younger persons. That's why the insurance companies won't insure them. That's why insurance goes down at that age. That's why everything happens for a reason. So I feel that, when you start putting those laws at a younger age and you're starting to restrict people and do this stuff, and then when they get to a certain age, it's like, okay, we know you're an adult now. Now you have these things where you can drink legally and you can smoke whatever you want to smoke and you can not wear a seatbelt. You have these abilities to make decisions, based on the information we've given you in the past 25 years. I think that changes the way people will view things. I think a lot of it has to do with education, obviously, when people are growing up and who they're learning from. But I think when police officers start becoming those type of collecting just tickets and parking tickets and this and that, I mean, it just puts things in a bad. It's like they should be separate. You have police officers serving, protecting, and then have people who are just doing tickets, and not have them be the same person.
You're advocating for more meter maids, as it were.
Yeah,
Don't get me started on meter maids.
I don't know if that's the correct term, mind you, but
No.
They're meter maids.
What I'm saying is that
don't get it twisted.
Right. What I'm saying is that I feel like it should be like I should look at a police officer and be like, that guy isn't here he's gonna fucking protect me. And not have to worry about did I go 5 miles over the speed limit for this guy. This guy should be doing that, type of stuff. Rapists, murderers, get those fucking thieves, get those guys off the street.
What I will say is that whenever we do pick up warrants on people for whatever it is, I pick guys up on, robbery, kidnapping warrants, assault first warrants, stuff like that. On
can you? I don't watch a lot of cop shows, but. When a person has a warrant, is that because they've gone to jail, or no, they haven't? How's it work?
It'll depend, what the warrant is for.
Right.
Sometimes it's for missing a court date. Sometimes it's for parole or probation violation. Okay.
It's different things.
Yeah,
so they've already gone to court. They've been arrested. They've gone to court, or they haven't.
So I also once we determine that we have probable cause, and we can't locate them anymore.
Yeah.
We will send the warrant up to the judge. Sorry, can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, okay.
We'll send it up to the judge. Judge will say, yeah, you've got probable cause to arrest him, at which point we'll issue a warrant for him, and then we'll go pick him up.
Okay. And there are also people out there, because there's another show called Bounty Hunter. Is that a real thing, or is that not real? That's a real show, right? But don't they do that?
That's a little different
different
animal.
but related. That's bail.
Yeah,
that's bailiff's bondsman.
Yeah, so let's say Javi goes to jail.
Hey now,
doesn't well.
no. Let's use me as an example.
He does that, and me being the great citizen that I am, I'm like, you know what? This, whatever he did, he doesn't have much.
Pick a crime.
Yeah, so this
too much Magic the Gathering.
Well, based on our last, I'm obviously robbing stores for TVs now because that was the suggestion.
No, sandbagging. He's sandbagging. Sandbagging the whole fucking brown belt division. Sorry.
So we have reason to believe, he's a sandbagger.
That's right.
Punishable by I don't know how much jail time, but
death.
Right. Death. Oh wow, Jesus!
It's a big deal. All right.
Right.
That's why you have to bump up at Naga.
That's right.
And you're like, oh, you know what? He's not that bad of a guy. I trust him.
Yeah.
He gives me $500 that I won't get back to him, and I'll put his $5,000 bond up.
Okay.
And if he doesn't show up to court, I'm out now $4,500.
Oh, wow.
So at that point, I need to find somebody to go find Zito. I'm not Zito, Javi. And then we can not have to pay, not lose our money.
And you bring him to court.
Yeah.
That's a bailiff's bondsman.
Yeah.
It's not a warrant, really.
Well, he'll end up having a warrant out for him.
Okay.
Right. There will be additional things.
Right. But your warrants come from the court, and then you serve them, or you. But you're not you actively looking for them? Is there like a list of people with all these warrants, and you just
me? Yeah, no, I definitely do.
That's part of your job is to.
Number one is we have to answer calls for service.
Sure.
So, you and Zito here on a domestic and you guys start fighting, I got to go respond to that. That's like, number one. Then after that, Hobby stole your TV.
Clearly.
I got the notorious thief. I have to go, take a report for that.
Right.
Then we can go through and, send up the BOI and they'll take care of it from there. But then, whenever I've got times that, we've got plenty of officers on staff that are free, we go through and we're, either pulling people over trying to find, contraband in their car, looking at something we already have a case going on, or we're going through and figuring out who has warrants in our area, and then we go through and try and serve those warrants. At least I do. I like to serve warrants.
Do you actively then do you have to look for these people, or you just
Yeah,
Google
no.
them? Is it pretty easy to find nowadays?
Check their Facebook and see where they checked in last.
I mean, basically,
you just checked in at West 6th Brewery. How convenient.
It seems like it'd be easier nowadays to find people.
So we do use Facebook to find people and see stuff, and if we're looking for somebody, a lot of times with the warrant, if they haven't been arrested before, we won't have a picture of them, so we'll type their name into Facebook and be like, oh, this is our whoever,
Right.
Like, damn it, he's got a cartoon character for an avatar. This is useless to me. Maybe he'll take my friend.
Why is he wearing a furry costume?
Javi.
Don't even get started.
I'm not.
I don't need to. I was having a good day till that moment there.
I feel like I'm missing out on something here. Is that what he like?
I am not
He
a
may or
furry.
may
but
not be a furry.
I am
I don't
not
know.
a furry. How dare you, sir? He started
You check your security cam later. All of a sudden, there's a freaking raccoon costume stealing a TV.
I mean, that seems appropriate.
Might be Javi.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say. He's wearing a brown belt. It might be Javi.
Yeah, he's probably wearing a purple belt, double sandbag in there.
Double sandbagging. He is. No, you're a brown belt in 10th Planet now.
Yeah.
At one point, he was a purple belt in one system and a brown belt in the other system.
How does that work?
I don't know. It worked.
Separate but equal.
Separate but different. So, okay, that's interesting. So you are serving then. Okay,
Yeah,
that's kinda neat.
that's one of my favorite things to do is I'll do that. And
Yeah. What part of you're not a state trooper? You're a police officer. What?
Lexington, Kentucky.
Lexington. Nice. Is that pretty big? I never think.
Yeah.
I think I've
It's-
driven through Kentucky. That's about it.
It's the second biggest city in Kentucky. Louisville's biggest.
Yeah.
I think we're sitting at 200, 250.
I'm in transportation. Most of the stuff we deal with, Louisville or Lexington. It's one or the other.
Or Owensboro.
Yeah, Owens, that comes up frequently as well. Murfreesboro sometimes, yeah. But
Didn't we go to a seminar in Kentucky?
yes, we did.
Well, that's right. Yeah,
Which one did you go to?
He doesn't remember.
It was a 10th Planet one. 10th Planet new school that just opened up.
Yeah,
There's a 10th Planet school. I'm sorry. There's a 10th Planet school in Richmond, which is the next biggest town south of Lexington. Then I live the next town south of there.
Okay.
I don't really play around with those 10th Planet guys. There's Carlson schools around, so
Right.
Yeah.
But I gotta admit, I don't remember what city that was.
I don't
offhand.
recall either.
I'd have to look
But it was
it
a
up.
good time.
Yeah, it was.
fun.
It was.
Yeah, we rented an Airbnb. It was nice. It's good. It had a big old jacuzzi in the back.
Yeah, that was an unexpected treat, actually.
Yeah, that was nice. That was cool.
But yeah. So, how exactly are you so locally well known here in the Chicago jiu-jitsu scene amongst my many friends and training partners? most of them, of course, Carlson affiliates.
yeah. I've trained in Chicagoland for probably 7 years, and I wrestled before that, so I knew people up here from wrestling. And I just, for the longest time, I went out and competed all the time. Would travel, get extra training in. You know what I mean? I guess that's really it. If there was a chance to be on the mats, I was on the mats.
Are you originally from Chicago?
Fuck no.
No.
With that accent?
I mean, it could have been. I mean,
I'm from Central Illinois. I'm from
Central.
Champaign, Illinois.
Oh, Champaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's funny,
That accent. Well, you can have that accent. Why not?
Yeah, definitely a South Side boy right here.
hey, with
Maybe
the
not
cheesy
South
beefs.
Side. Maybe not South Side.
What
But
side of Chicago do you have that accent? I don't know.
I guess not. Wait, Northsiders? Wrigleyville, they got that accent?
No, definitely not. Anyhow.
Yeah.
So
What was it?
So
There's something I was going to say there. I don't remember what it was now, but
it was a vague.
You're
So
Champagne.
yeah. So like my whole life, like I grew up like, you know what's wrong with the state of Illinois? Goddamn Chicago. You know.
I've heard that sentiment
Is that
before.
what they say?
like,
Is that what they really
yeah.
say? That's funny.
Oh fuck yeah, it is.
Are you aware of the political climate that is outside of our city?
I pay no
So
attention.
once
Okay,
you
cool.
get outside of Chicago, it's Republican all but about 2 bubbles.
Oh wow.
And those
Well,
bubbles,
actually 3 bubbles.
and those bubbles are around. Yeah, I was going to say around the
Champaign,
college towns.
St. Louis, and then Carbondale.
Okay.
So like somehow for somebody who's like, you know, with my political beliefs, I've always managed to live in a blue bubble wherever I am. Yeah, like whenever I lived in Champaign, it's like, oh sorry.
You're fine.
My family's all from Carbondale, Marion area. So then I live in Lexington, like the like stronghold of republicanism, and I live in the one little blue bubble.
Right.
Interesting. So how'd you make,
Indeed.
How'd you make its way to Kentucky?
So, like most good things that happened in my life, it's because of grappling.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm up here. I'm teaching at junior school. Guy comes in who's actually with Richmond at the time, Richmond, Kentucky. He was in Chicago for a collision reconstruction class.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul Hogan. He's a brown belt in a junior too. He's a really good guy. He's the guy who picked up the bourbon that you guys refused to drink.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
So he comes up, and you know, new guy. I'm like one of the better guys at the gym at the time, and I was like, we got a guy visiting. Like,
Fuck this guy.
yeah,
up.
like I'll make sure that he, you know, leaves here with the right understanding of what, you know, it's like training at headquarters.
Right.
So I put it on him, and you know, me and him become buddies later on. And then one day he knew I wanted to be a police officer, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll come on down to Kentucky. We can, you know, hang out, shoot guns, go fishing, drink some bourbon, whatever. So I go down there, end up getting on there after like, you know, a bunch of close calls with departments here, but yeah. So to go back to my original story, when I was in Champaign, like Chicago's what's wrong with the state.
Clearly.
And then like I ran I worked at a diesel mechanic shop one summer, and it was like, these fucking truckers, they're dumb as a box of rocks. Like, blah, 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 blah. I ended up moving up to Chicago. My first job after I quit coaching full time, I was driving a truck doing local deliveries. So, and then after that, the other thing was like we ran a relatively small construction company, and whenever we would travel up to Chicago, we had to get our employees through the union. So then my dad would bitch about the unions, like making things difficult for everybody.
Which union is that?
Labor is what we would have hired through.
Okay.
So I go from moving up to, you know, Satan's armpit to driving a truck to being a union iron worker.
Full, yeah.
Wow.
So it's like everything like I grew up like, you know,
Your
being
beliefs
like,
have been tested very frequently,
Yeah.
it seems. Yes.
it's like it keeps on like, you know.
Yeah. Damn. But Kentucky's cool, right? You like it?
Oh, I fucking love Kentucky. Yeah, I really like Kentucky. It's great. Reminds me a lot of Central Illinois, just with hills.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
Yeah, we don't have many of those in this state.
I mean, not a lot of things happen in Kentucky, though, right? There's no like major like.
Why are you looking at me?
Earthquakes. There's no like tornadoes. There's no like hurricane. There's nothing like.
one thing.
Kentucky's pretty
So like,
chill, right?
Well, because of the like, hill,
Like in terms of natural disasters?
Yeah, in terms of, I never heard.
well,
anything
I mean, it's like we got Mississippi and
floods.
Ohio there, so we'll have floods.
Oh, you will have floods, huh?
One thing that we don't have tornadoes. You know, like we do in Central Illinois because there's nothing to break it up. We don't even have trees.
Right. Oh, you don't.
Nah.
Sorry, let me apologize. He doesn't leave the country. He
No.
barely leaves the city.
Yes, barely.
Okay, like
Okay.
he has no knowledge
so-
of
I go snowboarding and then I come here and that's
So-
goes to the airport, goes to the hill.
Once you get outside of the collar counties, you're basically just walking into a cornfield or a bean field.
no shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty flat.
Yeah, like you'll walk like a mile and maybe have like a 1-inch grade sometimes.
No shit. Wow.
Although to be fair, not in any way related to Danny Rodriguez, but my wife and I just up and decided, we're like, hey, let's go do something, like a little adventure out of town. So we just went down to LaSalle and went to Starved Rock. If the rest of Illinois looked like that, my God, it'd be amazing.
Yeah. Well,
but,
like Starved Rock is basically what all of Kentucky looks like.
right, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, I've been through other parts of Kentucky and whatnot, just not had the opportunity to hang out.
So, like, where I live now is kind of near the Mounds, which isn't Appalachia, but
may as well be.
No. So, like, the people who live in Appalachia, like, that's mountains. Like, those are your real hillbillies. Like, I mean, like, you'll have guys, like, half their trailers up on stilts because the other half's in the mountain.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know, there's no flat land. It's just a hard life, and that's what it is. And then I live in central Kentucky, and, like, right where, like, the Appalachians start, there's a little, like, kind of mountainy range called the Mounds, and that's where I live. Like, one of the places I go fish a lot, you can see all the mounds from there.
Oh, wow.
It's cool.
You like fishing?
I'm a big outdoorsman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hiking, all that stuff.
I hike, but a lot of times if I'm hiking, I want to have my gun with me.
So you hunt as well?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. What have you hunt?
About anything I can. My favorite thing to hunt personally is pheasant, which there are no pheasants in Kentucky.
Why is that your favorite? Why is that your favorite?
So you got to come back to Illinois for your pheasant hunting, or you go?
Pheasant's the bird that flies, right?
I think most birds fly, sir.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Not all birds fly.
Fairly colorful
But most of them
looking.
do. I don't know what they look like.
Might be mistaken for a turkey if you're not
No,
familiar, like a female turkey.
They look
No,
nothing like a turkey.
thought
I've
they're
definitely
small,
seen
right?
people mistaken for a turkey.
Aren't they small?
They're
Yeah,
about the
they're not
size of a
very
small
big,
chicken.
yeah.
Yeah, and is that where you send the dog in and then it?
Yeah, a lot of times.
They got real. The
Yeah, so
males have
you-
real long tail feathers.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of.
I hear it, but I never really know what it is.
You don't know what it.
Let me show you.
There's
some
restaurants around here called like the some
Up in
pheasant.
Elgin?
Yeah, there's one in
Pheasant
Elgin.
Run?
Pheasant Run in. Yeah.
Let me
I
put
don't
my
really
Instagram
pay
for you.
attention too much.
You're getting a strange education today.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I love it. See,
No,
this
it's
is why I
funny
do the
because, like,
podcast.
Where I grew up, like pheasant hunting was like a big deal
The
for
norm.
like, for like guys
Yeah.
that like we're in a hunting, like, you know, it's first Saturday of November, we're going hunting. Like it was.
But I was just asking, like, why is he like that? Like, makes that his favorite, as opposed to like deer or
so
elk or
deer
whatever.
hunting. Well, elk, that's rich people game.
Okay.
Like I ain't got money right now to go out to Colorado, and I think there was a 0.03% chance of me winning an elk tag this year in Kentucky, and I don't know what they are in Wisconsin. But yeah, so about every 2 to 3 weeks during pheasant season, which is first Saturday in November through like January 19th, I come up to pheasant hunt. It's my favorite because like when you're deer hunting, you just gotta sit up, 30 feet up in the air, whatever your stand is. Be quiet, try and stay awake, at 5 in the morning. Well, when you're pheasant hunting, it's no different than taking a hike. You're just going through prairie.
Flushing them.
Yeah. If you got dogs with you, you got dogs with you.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, you're sitting around bullshitting with your buddy, like, yeah, Dusty, you start like, making fun of him about something. Next thing you know, you freaking, you got these birds exploding. You're like, trying to get after them. It's really fun.
Okay.
So, like,
I've seen movies with them pheasant hunting. Wasn't Wedding Crashers? Weren't
I think they
pheasant
were
hunting?
quail hunting.
Oh, quail hunting. There you go.
Yeah.
Much smaller target.
Smaller target. Quail. Yeah, quail's very good. It's delicious. You ever had quail before?
I have.
Delicious. Can you eat pheasant?
I mean, I
So-
never have, but
all right, here, I got my Instagram pulled up for you.
Okay. Do you eat pheasant? Sam?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
I was going to show you.
I was about to say, I have no
looking for-
idea what it tastes like. I've never
Tastes
had
just
it.
like, so I mean,
Chicken?
like based
Don't say
around
chicken.
like if they're pin birds or they're wild birds, they taste a little different. But that right there is a full cooked the whole bird.
Oh wow! So it looks
It's just a
like
mini
a
chicken. It's a mini chicken, that's all it is.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
chicken that flies.
Chicken that flies.
Yeah, it hasn't had its wings clipped. Yeah, no, it's really good. If you get wild birds, the legs are tricky to cook,
Okay.
so a lot of guys just take the breast.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good picture of one that will like show what they look like on my Instagram.
Wild pheasants. You just walk through a prairie and they just start flying away.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. You're looking to scare them, right? So that's why you guys can
so
talk
like
and bullshit, as opposed to like, deer. You gotta be
so like
quiet.
it's considered relatively. It's not like unheard of, but it's kind of like bad manners to shoot them on the ground.
Oh, okay. So you want them to fly?
Yeah.
Duck hunting works the same way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to take them on the wing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the duck hunting that you can cheat though.
Because you can use the call.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't cheating. Have you ever tried calling in any animals?
Never.
Again, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah. No.
Besides just doing snowboarding.
That's it. There you go.
Well, I know very little about snowboarding.
Okay.
I know there's a hill and you go down it.
That's it. That's all I know either. That's it. Show me where the mountain is. Put me on a board. I'm going down it.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
But no, it's
It's not as easy as it looks.
granted. Of course, I'm relatively new to turkey hunting. I've only turkey hunted a couple seasons, but I've really loved it. Turkey hunting is now my second favorite.
But like,
But you sit in a blind and when you turkey hunt, don't you?
Yeah, you do. How I got my turkey this year, and like it was like a running joke how bad of a turkey hunter I am. But you sit either up against a tree or you've got a blind up or you've got stakes up so you can kind of cover your. I keep on moving away so I can talk with my hands.
You talk with your hands a lot. That's fine.
So like you'll have something set up to kind of break up you got your camo on, then you got something set up to like break your cover, or you are back up against a tree, hopefully with some bushes around you.
okay.
And you got a little pot going, you're in there trying to make turkey sounds that hopefully sound like an available female turkey. Mm-hmm. Then the gobbler gobbles back to you. You try and get them to come closer, and you got decoys out and stuff.
And you're gonna shoot them.
What else is he gonna do?
Wait. Have you ever tried
Stab
to,
them? I don't know.
You ever do jujitsu on a turkey?
No, but can you like Rambo them? Like jump down with a freaking
So that,
with like a spear? That would be fucking cool.
Yeah, no,
that's legit.
Oh my god.
Like a fucking Rambo blade. Come on.
I think the only thing you're legally allowed to hunt with a spear is boar, and that's probably a carryover.
no. So it was a big deal a while back. You can hunt bear with the spear in Minnesota.
You can.
Yeah, a guy got
There you go. See, huh?
Never mind. I'm learning something new today too.
Well, a guy ended up who's a big deal. I can't name his name right now, and it's really a shitty situation because he's a awesome guy. And he did everything 100% the right way, in my opinion. Like
by the book, you mean like legally?
Everything was legal. He's like a hunting and fishing personality,
Okay.
so he's gonna have all his I's dotted and T's crossed. Mm-hmm. But he went and made his own spear,
Okay.
trained with it. It wasn't like
hand forged it or went like super traditional. Do you know?
I think he hand forged. I have to
Okay.
pull up the article and send it to you.
I'm trying to envision whether he's got this metal tip spear. Or whether
I'm relatively certain it's metal tip.
Okay.
But he went through, made the spear entirely himself, and went and killed a bear with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there was huge pet reaction, oh, it's so inhumane to kill an animal this way. It's I saw the look you were giving me. I got some buddies that don't you can knife hunt for hogs too.
Okay, cool.
And one of my buddies went and did a hog hunt, and he said after watching how much they suffered stabbing them that he
Much rather shoot him.
Yeah, and he shot his. But there's no good way to die before your time, right?
That's
I
right.
mean, definitely not out in the wild when you're.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a deer or a bear or whatever it is.
Anything anyway is gonna be shitty.
So
Nothing passes it kindly in its sleep out in nature.
Yeah, so
you're weak enough that you get run down by something that's going to tear you to shreds.
so either you get hamstrung and gutted by a coyote,
Right.
or you starve to death.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all eaten alive, starved to death.
Right.
Taken out by a rival male.
Yeah,
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
elk will die like that sometimes. They'll get
Yeah, they get speared.
horned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So big uproar over the fact that he speared a bear instead of shot the bear, or was it really just an uproar because it's a bear?
I think that's another thing. People like things with faces.
Yeah. That's true.
What's Steve Rinnella's characteristic term for that? Charismatic megafauna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one.
I didn't take you for a Rinella guy.
I was introduced to him through Rogan. which I'm definitely a Rogan guy. And then I've followed Ranella quite a bit, since then. Not constantly, but like I really appreciate his perspective on things.
No, Renella's very interesting. I got away from his podcast. Right now I'm going through I'll kind of phase in and out of things. I'll go through like periods where I'll like do all martial arts podcasts and books, and then I'll go through periods where it's all history.
Right.
And I'll do the periods with all political thought, and then I'll go through periods where it's all something else.
Right.
A lot of times like, history, martial arts, political thought.
Yeah, my podcast subscription list is positively monstrous, but I don't
let me show you mine right now.
Yeah, I don't listen to all of them constantly. I'll be like, I catch these podcasts all the time and then fill in the blanks with the other ones. Something catches my fancy. I'm like, oh, that seems interesting.
Well,
then I'll start doing a deep dive on that subject or
and
something.
That's kind of why I like Rogan's, because he, I don't listen to all the comedians that he has on.
So almost anytime you listen, everyone's going to get good stuff when they listen to the comedians, but I'll put on the comedian podcast because like I need noise to fall asleep. Like I grew up in a family I have 5 older sisters.
Okay.
So like I need noise to fall asleep.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm the youngest of 6.
Right.
And then I need noise to fall asleep.
Right.
And a fan doesn't cut it for you.
No, and things
It's
like
got to be talking.
Yeah, so I need something because like otherwise it's gotten worse too as I've gotten older. But like the silence will keep me up, and then something unexpected will get me out of bed.
And then you're not getting back.
Like so. Like last night, I went and stayed at Dave and Dangerous Aaron Brooks' house, and like I'm used to like being at my home. Like once the boys are in, the dogs are in, the wife's in,
No one's going to be moving about.
nobody's gonna be coming through that house without giving me a call first, right? So like, Aaron opens the door, and I sit up. I'm like freaking reach. Sorry,
That's okay.
I'm reaching for my freaking gun that's up on like the nightstand. I was like, oh fuck!
Because he walked in your room?
No, I was on the couch, but like it's still like one of those things. Like it was like
Just reflex.
Yeah, like somebody's coming to my house.
And no one would have blamed you for shooting Aaron Brooks.
Well, anybody that knows Aaron wouldn't have blamed me.
There would not be an uproar for that one.
Damn.
He's triangled enough people. I caught myself because I woke up and I was like, first thing was like, all right, somebody's in my house. I need to figure out what's going on.
Right.
And like about the time I sat and was reaching for it, I was like,
It's cool.
I'm not at home,
Right. What time did Aaron come home?
This is getting very personal.
I'm just wondering where he's at. That's all.
Yeah.
What's
Why are you
going
wondering
on?
so much?
I don't know. See what he's doing.
Why does he need to know? Why do you need to know all these details about Aaron?
am I being detained?
I have to know what Aaron's doing. He's out on the street. I don't know. What's he doing?
He came home probably about 1 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock, somewhere in there.
That's a reasonable time, man.
That's reasonable.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
too bad.
Zito's already been in bed for like 6 hours at that
Yeah.
point. But
Well, I mean, he's got to keep his,
That's right.
sleep up, keep that youthful look.
That's it. 44 now.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
got a new gi. I got 2 new gis
for yourself, or did
Yeah,
somebody
for myself.
gift them to you? Okay.
for myself. Figured, and I'm gonna have to now give away a few more gis. I still have one
Is this
for
you?
you.
Okay, bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought that new Shoyoro one, the Haja Gracie. Yeah, I did. Well, 2 of my friends both texted me like, "Hey, did you see?" And I'm like, "Oh, it must be a sign." They
wanted you. They weren't like, "Hey, we're going to gift this to you for your birthday." They're
No.
just like, "You should buy this for yourself."
Yeah,
Because you have money
Right,
and,
yeah.
and
so we'll see how it is.
No self control.
And then I bought a grip,
Almost no self control.
a blue grip ski. So I like Grips is good.
Grips is probably one of my favorites. I bought it off of Fumasa, or Fumasa kind of like gave me a discount or whatever.
Yeah. I like
But-
Grips.
Yeah,
Grips is a good nice ski.
Grips was my favorite gi for a while. And you can tell it's worn to shit. Grand course, I'm hard on stuff. I've got usually like a couple sweaty gis in the bed of my truck because I don't want it, sticking up their cab in my truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Grips is one of my favorite gis.
I got to know. How long do you actually wear the gi before you just give up on it and move on to the next one? Like, is it like you wear it once, put it in the closet, never think about it again,
No.
wear it like 3 times?
Well, see, here's the thing. I realized after buying it that it doesn't really fit me. If there was a store,
No, I was gonna say it doesn't
We
make your
could-
jiu-jitsu better.
no,
that definitely will never
but
happen
if
to
there
it.
was, because if there was a store that sold,
You need a
all
tailored
the
gis. This is what we were about to get to?
I'm just saying,
Okay.
if I could try on the gis
You're looking
before
for the perfect
buying,
fit.
I would probably not have bought several of those gis that I've bought.
Right.
Just because there's one shoyu roll that I bought a while back. It just fits,
isn't right.
fits me. It doesn't fit me right. Whereas my other one fits me like a glove. So I buy them like, oh, maybe this one's be.
So when you find one you like, do you buy more than one of it?
Wouldn't
that make sense?
I have done
Okay,
that. I
okay,
bought it
just
in
checking.
multiple colors. Yeah. But
Oh,
then after
multiple
a
colors.
while, after wearing it, some of them just start shrinking up. They just don't fit as well.
That's
So
kind
then
of
you move on.
unavoidable at some point.
It is unavoidable.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
then I buy another one, and then I get another one, and you got like 20 something.
See,
keys.
like, I think I've probably bought less than 4 gis my entire time.
it's incredible.
You know,
have
or
all the others come in like the form of donation, or
yeah, like
because I was about to say if you've only ever had 4 gis, that's amazing.
no, I mean like I usually I bought 2 Howards when first gi I ever had was given to me that was given to him by somebody else.
hand me down.
Yeah, so the guy
What
got
size
it.
are you?
I'm an A2 or A3. A3.
A3. Okay.
I'm A3 because I'm long.
Your arms are.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
What's your reach?
I don't know. It's been a while since it's been measured. I think that
Somewhere between giraffe and pterodactyl.
Okay.
0.8 pterodactyl.
There we go. The other standard unit measurement.
Yeah. No, like I got a lot of crap in my arms. They always say I look like Lurch.
So,
So
Adam's
I'll-
family reference for our younger listeners.
So like when I went through the academy, you got to get your stuff measured to get your proper fitting uniform.
Yeah.
And I want to say I was like 77, 78, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Not quite John Jones, but close.
Yeah.
Some good reach.
Some definitely good reach.
Yeah.
Throw
0.9.
hands or
I boxed. So like, I mean,
seems appropriate.
yeah, I've done everything.
We actually we circled there and we never actually. went
Yeah, I think
deep.
that was, we started talking about it before the podcast started, but
Yeah. So how'd you get into all of this? Like you said, you wrestled. Was that the genesis? Were you like a MMA fan? What brought you?
yeah, I wrestled, quit playing football in college, and it's like I need to find something to do. I really like wrestling. We don't have a wrestling team at the college I was at. I always wanted to fight, so I started fighting. Fought MMA, had like 9 or 10 MMA fights, boxing matches, Thai boxing matches.
Jeez.
So when was all this going on? Like what
From
time frame?
21 to like 26,
It's a good era to
Well, how old are you now?
30. I'll be 31 in October.
Okay.
youngin.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, as far as like combat sports go, like I've competed in everything. I wanted to talk to you about it a little bit. I've talked to Artie about it too. On my bucket list of like, I want to compete in Sambo at some point. I mean, I've competed.
Oh, wow.
It's fun.
Yeah, I think I would like it. It doesn't seem like the grips are too crazy. It's a little different with the lapel.
Like everyone.
The jacket.
Yeah,
the shoulder of the jacket.
The shoulder of the jacket has an epaulette sewn in, and it kind of simulates the kind of grips you would be able to do if it was a vest instead. Which a lot of the native styles have like vest.
Yeah, like the Mongolian wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like that's kind of there for that. It also kind of represents like a military uniform. There's a lot of
I can
reasons
definitely
for
see
it.
it being somebody's plate carrier.
Yeah, there's another one. But ultimately, like in all the time that I've competed in Sambo, while I've definitely been shown techniques from that grip, I've seen
Well,
very
I
few
think that
people
these are
actually
kind of
use
boiled
it.
down to like,
Yeah.
like Sambo's a fringe art, right? No offense to my, Sambo people, but it's all going to be like tied back to what goes into the Olympics and what's the bigger deal, which is judo for gi grappling. But yeah, I've competed folk style, freestyle, Greco, judo, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, then gi and no gi.
Damn. Oh, to get back to that book, sorry. That judo book I see over there?
Yeah.
So that was given to me as a gift from a teammate. I call him a teammate of mine for helping him. Because I teach the fundamentals class, and he just
Right.
got his blue belt, so he gifted me this book that he used to read when he was younger.
And he's probably fed up of your lack of takedowns.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. He said,
Nobody likes a butt scooter.
right. So he said, "Here, check this out." He goes, "This really helped me out." Or was it? I think it was very nice of him to do that. It was very nice of him. So Augie, thank you.
I got a big collection of books. My favorite judo book is by Putin.
Oh, really?
That is actually, I've got that too.
Yeah.
That is,
It's good?
it's a, okay, so I don't know how much he actually wrote it. Like,
No, I mean, so don't be wrong. Like, I mean, Vladimir wrote the whole daggone book,
Clearly.
but there might have been people who helped him out.
He hand illustrated it. He took all the photos. Like, he masterminded the whole thing.
All
He
while
edited
petting
the
his
props.
25 dogs have been gifts to him.
Right. But,
So is this like the Tao Jeet Kune Do for Putin?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily.
Well, I mean, there's no Kyokushin in it. So, like, you know, like, Putin is, like, seriously a bad motherfucker.
yeah, he is.
agree.
He is.
Yeah, like, he's a 5th degree black belt in Kyokushin, too, in case you didn't know that. That's why I brought up Kyokushin.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know him mainly from a judo perspective.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, judo competitor, 5th degree Kyokushin, which, you know, like, of course, we want to make fun of karate and any martial art that wears a gi that doesn't involve throwing. But Kyokushin's, like,
Pretty badass.
like, as far as, like, traditional martial arts go, like, you know, like, Kempo, I guess, has got some cool stuff. But, like, Kyokushin, they freaking get after it, all right? Like, no punch to the face, but, like, you ever watch their, like, body hardening workouts? They're like, I will now let him break this bat over my forearm. It's like, they, like, dead serious. Like, that's what they do. Like,
Yeah, that's
Kyokushin, like,
crazy.
they take their physical training very seriously, which is, like, in my opinion, kind of like what separates shitty martial arts from good martial arts is, like, how serious they take, like, actually fighting and their physical preparation, right?
Actual fighting is a big thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, like, well, like Taekwondo, like, right? Like, I guess they kind of actually fight, but it's like I still look at that as kind of a joke. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of times, like, Taekwondo guys, they don't necessarily condition. Granted, of course, I don't know a whole lot about Taekwondo. I know there's one of the guys.
Well, you got two wildly different styles of it too. So you've got, what is it? WTF and ITF are the two main federations, and, like, one has I think that I'm gonna mess this up and everyone's getting mad at me. But one of the versions is more of the
I'm sure you'll be safe from the Taekwondo black belts.
Sadly, a lot of my Taekwondo buddies I know because jiu-jitsu. So, like,
Yeah, you know, and there's a lot of
crossover. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like,
especially
you know,
these
if
days.
you're into martial arts, you're into martial arts,
Right.
You're gonna find what you like the best.
But yeah, one of them has a more, like, power-focused, full contact kind of approach to their sparring, and the other one's more of a, you know, speed point sparring style.
So, what is the Olympic Taekwondo?
I believe that's WTF.
Which is the
But-
more speed based?
Yeah,
because it looks to me like that one's like much more
That's
in and
ver-
out and
Yeah, it's
which I
very-
like, you know,
very
it's like,
sport-specific
you know,
stuff.
and, like, I haven't, like, you know, really spent a whole lot of time researching it. Like, I'll watch some stuff occasionally, especially when I was just starting out, to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like.
Right.
Yeah. One of my instructors back in the day was Taekwondo since he was a kid, and he was very good at doing kicks and all that and keeping range, and he can probably mess up most of the people on the street because they don't know how to fight back in the early 90s,
Well,
which is
so
Taekwondo, but nowadays it's a little different.
So I would say the average person is just as trained as they were in 1985, right?
That would be my estimation as well. The only possible difference is,
They might try and jump on your neck a little easier.
right, they've seen
Yeah.
a UFC fight or something at some point, more
Yeah.
likely now. So,
Exactly.
you know, there's that awareness, I
That's
guess.
what I would
Like,
say.
if they're actually paying attention.
But
Yeah.
so,
how
like,
many of the average people are also the slob in the bar who's just yelling, "Stand him up!" You know? So,
It's a lot of people. But
Yeah, Bender's got some good stories about his one of his ex girlfriends dad being like, "I've had 5 guys try and fight me, none of them could tap me out." You know what I mean? Like, you know, like,
I'm gonna text him about that in a moment.
oh no, yeah. Bender's got good stories. You just kind of sometimes have to milk him out of them and, like, not let him get on tangents, which you have to do with me
Basically
too.
impossible.
Yeah, you know, because halfway through he'll start telling you about some, like, new kettlebell exercise or
Jason does have diverse interests.
yeah, he does. So Bender will, like, randomly, like, it's usually pretty cool stuff. Like, he knows what I'm interested in, and, like, he's always sending me, like, nature is metal, like, stuff like that. And I
Stuff
like
off
it. But
Reddit,
then, like,
yeah.
he's also, like, send me, like, he's always on Reddit. Like, I've never been on Reddit outside of whenever him or somebody else sent me a link, and he'll send me, like, not Mongolian death metal music, but, like, stuff like that. And it's like,
Where did you find this?
it's like,
just read it.
Look, man, we play both kinds of music in my truck, country and western.
I just downloaded a country song.
Uh-oh, what'd
I
you
didn't
get?
know it was country.
Well, it probably ain't
Like,
country.
you're saying it like you've been tricked, or
Well, I don't.
So there it was, downloading Old Town Road.
that ain't lay it out.
No, that was not it. It was now I'm gonna mess up Zach
Brown Band.
That's it. Zach Brown
Yeah.
Band. So
They're okay.
Oh, they are good? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
like, this is not necessarily like what I'm into country
Right,
wise.
right.
Like,
Is it more like a pop country? Like
A little bit more
not-
mainstream,
Yeah, a little
yeah.
more mainstream.
Um,
Because I have Pandora and I pay for a subscription for Pandora. And, they cycle through.
You're like, oh, that one sounds neat, right?
And I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool.
so wait, you heard the song
On Pandora,
and then
yeah.
afterwards you figured out that it was country.
which is the case with country music now. It's nothing
Right.
different than what you hear on top 40 radio.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is different because you're a little bit more likely to hear about pickup trucks and
Yeah, but
you know.
fucking borough country, man. Like, so like, yeah. So like, me like, I listen to like Tyler Childers, Coulter Wall, all those guys. Band called Hellbound Glory.
That sounds glorious. What's that like?
Kind of like borderline gangster rap, but country as fuck. Like
Okay.
instead of having songs about like dealing crack, they'll have songs about running meth.
Okay.
Neither of these things are relatable, but both fascinate me, so I have to check it out.
No, I mean like they're good. They got a bunch of fun songs. They're from like out in Vegas. So
Okay.
like yeah. Like it's funny.
I
Like,
say.
well, like you think about country music being like just in the South.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got
Right.
Red Dirt and you got Appalachia.
No, I mean, there's. I can't even remember the name
Well,
of it.
Coulter Wall's from Canada, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one Shania Twain too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Shania Twain.
But I mean, like,
what
some
happened to
of
her?
the,
What happened to her?
She's
still
in New
around?
Zealand running her farm, man.
Oh, sweet.
She got enough money to retire. She don't need to do anything else.
She was gangster.
I think she
Back
just
in
had
the
a
Oh,
big
man.
concert that a friend of mine went to
I don't
last
know.
year or the year
but
before.
back in the day, Shania Twain
Yeah.
was in the Spank Bang.
she was the woman, man. In the 90s, oh, forget about it. She was great. Yeah.
Somebody's from the South Side. Forget about it.
Yeah. I just realized that. You're right. That's so bad.
Your accent was definitely showing there.
Yeah, so Zach Brown Band. So I like them. Well, the one song that I did download.
Did you just download
Free-
the one song? Or you
free.
downloaded the whole,
Well,
whole album?
they did a really interesting thing. I didn't download the whole. No, I just got the one song. So they did a song called "Free," and then they did another version with Van Morrison, "Into the Mystic." It's a really really cool song. So they brought in. I don't know. They did like a
I'm trying to
merge.
envision this.
They
I have no
merged,
idea
like the
what
song "Free," which you've heard of before, right?
Yeah, I've heard it, but it's not some.
And then towards the end, it just goes in this really cool beat, and then it goes right into Into the Mystic. Of
So is
Van
it a
Morrison.
mashup between
it's
the two?
a mashup
Okay.
between the two, and
Okay.
they did an excellent job of it. And I thought it was amazing because I'm a Van Morrison fan, so I thought when I saw
So that's
that,
what they
I'm like,
sold you on.
pretty much, yeah. But the rest of the stuff I listen
This
is
is how it
great,
starts.
too.
You're going to show up in a cowboy hat and
Probably
cowboy
not.
boots in
Probably
no
not going to
time.
happen. Won't really fit with me on the South Side here, but.
You have to go up to a big country music festival in Wisconsin.
So I mean,
sometime.
like, I don't know. Like, you can buy some cool country shit, like especially like in a more like Hispanic side of town. Like,
That's true.
you know what I mean? Like some like my favorite pearl snaps who I wear when I go out. I bought it. Mexican stores. I walked in and they're like,
Did you say pearl snaps?
yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a plaid shirt kind of,
Okay,
but it's got like pearl. It's like mother of pearl snaps.
I got it. Yes,
He's seen it before.
I'm
On the
I got
help.
the visual.
I seen
got
it on the
visual.
YouTube.
I got the visual of it. I
Yeah.
just can't picture you in it.
I don't feel like this is that difficult, honestly.
I don't know. Just a big dude. I couldn't see him in like a
Only little dudes wear.
I mean, I'm not wearing a medium.
no pearl snap shirt.
Your bias.
But you have boots on.
He does, but they're like work boots.
Oh, those are work boots.
Yeah. I mean, they're
country.
Cowboy,
They're cowboy boots.
I stand corrected. I looked at those around.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
Those are
like
cowboy boots.
Well, I mean, like this is what I wore whenever I worked.
Right. So they are effectively.
Yeah, I mean, like
They're not steel toed though.
But no, they're not.
no. Well, as an iron worker, we weren't supposed to wear steel toe. The idea was,
You want
if
your foot
you-
to,
if you
you
had-
want your foot not to get crushed.
yeah, if your foot gets crushed, it ain't gonna matter if you're
Whether
wearing
it's
steel
steel toe or
toes or
not.
not. You know, you have a friggin' I-beam drop on you or something.
Yeah, that's very true. In some circumstances, you'd want steel toes.
Yeah.
yourself.
We were supposed to whenever I worked in that warehouse I drove a truck for.
Yeah. Do you remember seeing Shameless when they ripped her toe off? I used to think about that. So the thing dropped on her foot. You know what I'm talking about? You
No,
ever seen
no.
the
No, I
show
have not seen
Shameless?
this, no.
You've never seen Shameless?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Nothing?
I'm just smiling and waving.
Wow.
Sorry. This
Sam, have you ever seen Shameless, the show?
television is like where
It's on
I
Showtime.
Walk me through a little plot. I think I've seen part of it.
I mean,
no, I've seen that shit.
The show, yeah.
Goddamn friggin' Southside Chicago.
Yeah, Southside Chicago.
Yeah, friggin' living off
Shameless.
welfare and shit.
Yes, exactly. Wow, Javi, where you been?
I don't watch TV.
I wouldn't watch it if it wasn't for one of my girlfriends.
Yeah. So it's a ridiculous show, and
Okay,
I can't finish the seasons because it's so ridiculous. But it's good for the first 7 seasons or whatever. But
there's a shoe accident?
There's a shoe accident where
Okay.
the daughter has some. She's an iron worker or a welder of some sort, and she drops a piece of iron on her fucking toe or foot, and then the father actually ripped her toe is now black. And they don't have any hospital benefits or anything like that, and he has to take pliers and rip her toes off.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking disturbing.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, so that's when he said steel toe. It reminded me.
That's where it took you.
Yes, where it took me.
So if you want to have a pair of boots that's gonna last you, and you have to have protective toes, go fiberglass. This is worth the extra $100.
Fiberglass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had fiberglass.
So I've heard of people working in the warehouse who had a pallet get dropped on their toes and
bend the metal.
took his toes clean off at the metal.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because if the metal bends, you're fine. You just cut the sole out around your foot and pull your foot out the bottom. But with the fiberglass, like a Corvette, it'll just dent in and keep its form kind of, but won't cut your toes off.
Right.
And also they don't get cold. I remember driving that friggin' truck. There's one truck we had that the heater didn't work, and it was -30. Welcome to Chicago, and it would get freezing cold, and then your toes would
steel
never
toes
get
would-
warm
yeah,
because your
right.
toes are just surrounded by an end swell basically.
Right. I like my Vivo Barefoot. These are fucking the best shoes ever.
Maybe not for warehouse work though.
Definitely not for warehouse work. You will not do well. You cannot. I mean, you can't hit anything with this. This is nylon, but they're very comfortable.
They look comfy. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I
I
swear.
prefer barefoot. That's
me,
my,
this is like barefoot.
as close as you can get to.
Unless I'm
pretty
on my
much.
way to work out, I don't wear gym shoes.
Yeah, this is the closest gym shoe.
I-
I think this is it. But they're so freaking. I can't.
But you're
wear
saying you
leather
prefer
shoes.
heavier footwear usually?
I wear boots everywhere.
Everywhere you wear these boots you wear everywhere. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things too. Growing up, it was kind of one of those things you wearing tennis shoes, pretty boy. You know what I mean, kind of stuff like that. So if I wasn't on my way to a practice or to lift,
Yeah.
I was wearing boots usually.
So you're not a skinny jean type of guy.
Definitely not.
No. But that'd be funny.
But
to
I
see.
mean, it goes great with my Luke Bryan concert tickets and stuff.
so talk
So
about.
I feel like a lot of my jokes go over his head.
Probably do. I probably don't understand any of this stuff. Can you talk about Blue Jitsu?
Yeah.
The shirt you're wearing.
Which is the shirt he's wearing? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because I got it confused, obviously, earlier with the other guy that we're hopefully
Yeah.
going to get on the podcast.
So, Blue Jitsu's me and 2 of my buddies. One's actually from Romeoville, and he ended up in Kentucky too. And then the other one, Paul Hogan. We're 3 officers that train. We all know each other, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And we're just trying to come up with a more systemized approach to using jiu-jitsu for police work by people who are actually officers. Hiron and Henner, they have GST. But I'm not saying anything bad about them or that program, but they're not really officers. You know what I mean? So there's some stuff that
Doesn't translate.
there's some stuff that they just won't know is an issue. One of the things, some of the stuff they do, they'll show back takes and they'll it's stuff that probably won't work the best while you're wearing boots.
The full gear. Didn't we talk about this with Luis?
Yeah, a
About
little bit.
The uniform being
the restrictions.
the
and
restrictions.
things like
Lewis.
that.
Do I know him?
From Redzivix.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know him.
But we were talking about how the uniform is so restrictive because you have the belt and you have all the utilities
got your
and
So
stuff like that. Right.
outside of weapon retention, I don't think the belt's that big of a hampering. Sometimes your taser will annoy you when you sit down, but I mean it's not that bad. You can angle your taser different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the thing that will throw you off the most going from grappling, no gi or whatever, to grappling in your police uniform, but your boots stick a little bit more, which doesn't really matter that much when you're grappling on grass because it helps then. Mm-hmm. And then you lose some torso mobility when you're wearing your vest. Mm-hmm. So I think those are two bigger factors.
Right.
Did you see that video of the guy?
Getting guillotined?
No.
I saw that one.
Oh wait, was
No, go ahead. Go. What are you talking about?
well the one I'm referring? And we might have brought this up before, but regardless. So I still saw a video where a guy had a knife and the police officer shot him. He went down for a little bit, then got back up and lunged at a police officer and took the police officer's back. And then other cops had to come there and take him off of the police officer that he took his back. This guy was shot, landed on the ground, got up, lunged at off, ran at officer. Officer couldn't get his gun out, and then
No, I definitely didn't see this one.
oh my god, dude!
I don't know if I've seen it or not. Like,
It's fucking
It's kind of one of those
insane.
things. Like every once in a while, I go through phases where I watch a lot of like use of force videos like that. But the issue when you start watching too much is you start getting a little too like
What-
like
what- the
I mean,
most
it's like
thing-
don't get me wrong. Like, you get treat everybody like they could potentially be a criminal when you're an officer.
Right.
But
You don't
at
wanna
the same
get
time, like
too wound up.
you can't be like so like you know what I mean like in a
What was troubling about this video for me wasn't the fact that he got shot. I get it, but was that he was able to take the back of an officer. That's fucking strange, and that's like the officer didn't know what to do. Like without his gun out, he kind of froze and let this guy completely go around him.
one of my pet peeves is
Was weird. And then he didn't know how to even handle the guy on his back. He was kind of just froze. He was just completely frozen in time. He had no idea what to do. The guy, I don't know if the guy. It was kind of a blurry video because it was a chest body cam. So it was the whole thing was very odd, and I was scared for that officer. I'm like, well, why is he?
Why does he not know how to protect his back?
The guy got to his back. Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's lots of issues there, but I think
So
that
strange.
one thing that annoys me is, like, I shoot a lot. I make it a point that I shoot every week. But at the same time, I also make it a point that I train jiu-jitsu at least 4 or 5 times a week. Mm-hmm. And, like, I've scaled down the jiu-jitsu per request to a certain extent. I used to be 7 to... Whenever I was training hard, it would be like 14 times a week. And now I've scaled it down to like 4 to like 6. But you go to the range, you see officers. And we're changing a lot of the thing. I'll be like, I know officers will spend, not even think twice about spending 2 hours at the range every week. They probably haven't done any defensive tactics not involving a firearm
Since the academy.
since the academy.
So you think they're way too reliant on that firearm protecting them?
They're too. I think officers as a whole are too reliant on our belts.
Yeah.
And especially our tasers, right? Like, it's not as bad in Kentucky, I don't think, but down up here, like from September to March, people are wearing Carhartts or whatever their code of choice is. Mm-hmm. That taser is probably not going to be very effective. Like you need to get through just a t-shirt.
Right.
So I think that they treat this taser like it's some kind of magic wand that's going to make the bad guy just stop resisting. And I want to say I read somewhere 75% of taser deployments are ineffective.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
That is bigger than I thought you were to say. But
Yeah, I want to say it's 75. I'd have to look back through it, but it was 75% of taser deployments are ineffective because either one, two things happen. So for a taser to work properly, you need to have
2 points. Right.
Well, 2 points, and you need to have a spread between those 2 points.
Oh, okay.
So how it works is you get, let's say I get the A and the bottom of the A and the top of the P on him. The only part that's going to be affected is his chest muscles, realistically.
Okay.
Because all it does is it sends all the electrons through your muscles there and causes everything to tense up.
Right.
So ideally, I tase him. I get, one in the chest and one in the thigh. That's like your picture perfect tasing. And then, they're down, and then you have 4 seconds to get done what you need to get done.
What's 4 seconds?
That's how long the taser's deployment is.
That's it. 4 seconds.
Well,
Not like the movies.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can't just you can recharge them if they're not compliant and stuff like that. But we can't just hook somebody up to electrodes and let it sit there forever.
Can you touch them if it's still deployed?
Yeah, you can.
I didn't know.
I've never deployed my taser. Yeah, I never have, but you can touch them
Okay.
as long as you don't touch like the prongs.
Contacts.
Right.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
but yeah, I think a lot of officers are too reliant on their taser.
So if every officer that we've ever spoken to
Trains jiu-jitsu.
trains jiu-jitsu, obviously.
That's one thing we have to remember too. Is
Yeah.
a lot of us like our department does a really good job. Like our noon class, because we have 4 officers that are blue belt or better. The lowest that's is a blue belt. He's a freak athlete. His name's Ichiro.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, his dad was like big time karate in Okinawa and stuff like that, I guess, when he was deployed there. And so Ichiro was like second or third son, and it was his like sensei's name or something like that.
Nice.
So he got named Ichiro, and he's just like, he's like 0.7 of a Nevinger, if I'm 0.5 of a
Okay.
Nevinger. Like,
Okay.
he's, former Division I linebacker,
Jeez.
6'2"-ish, 240. He told me he ran a 4.5.
What?
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah,
and
that's a super athlete. There.
Yeah, he doesn't really like to lift weights or anything anymore. So I don't know what his bench is, but like I've seen him. So Paul's a little. What weight do you wrestle?
Well, I fight at 141.
Okay, so you wrestle at 141.
I walk around 136.
Okay, all right. Paul wrestles at 145.
Okay.
I watched him playing around with Paul, act like he was gonna invert and do some goofy Marambolo shit. Grab Paul's ankles and skull crush him like this.
Just lifted him clean off the ground.
Yeah, Paul was saying what the fuck am I supposed to do to this?
Right.
Not a barimbolo.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to do now. And I'm a relatively big guy. I'm not a little guy.
Right.
Now I'm really known for my top pressure. I've had Ichiro close grip, grab my lapels, and push me this up while I'm trying my hardest to shift my weight on him.
Oh, shit.
Freak athlete.
That's awesome.
And he was also, Kentucky's wrestling. It ain't Illinois. But he's, was a third place state at 215. Mm-hmm. So, guy who already knew how to move from grappling, and then freak athlete. And now he's a blue belt.
Right.
Yeah.
And he just so freaking strong and crazy nimble and athletic. He's a handful. But we've got him, Sizemore, and Hogan, and me. And we got another guy who's a Division I wrestler who trains he's still a white belt, but he's tough. He's my beat partner, Joseph Schiff. And then because of that, our noon class now at the gym I train at will show up, and it used to be kind of a shithead gym. It was an MMA gym. But now, it used to be you show up and they'd be like, well, fuck, there's all kinds of people. We've arrested people out of that gym, stuff like that. And now you show up to noon class, and there's a class of 20 people, and 10 to 12 of them will be officers.
Nice.
So and we have a grappling club with our department now. Me, Hogan, and Sizemore run that.
That's awesome, man. And so that's what the t-shirt's all about.
Yeah,
Jiu-jitsu?
T-shirts Blue Jitsu was our, we're trying to come up with a catchy name.
Yeah. Blue Jitsu.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Like it.
Yeah,
So what are you doing with the Blue Jitsu? What is it? It's just
every Tuesday we have Technique Tuesday, and we'll put out a technique that we think officers should know, and a way to. It's all jiu-jitsu based. We don't do any striking stuff. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about defending against strikes and stuff like that. But we talk about how we're about using jiu-jitsu to get somebody to comply, but so we get them in cuffs.
Do you put this on like Facebook, Instagram? Or
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, both. We got Paul's our social media guy. They can't trust me on social media.
Yeah.
Would there be a lot of disclaimers of the opinions of of Sam?
The opinions of an unknown person who is not an officer.
Has that? I mean, I asked this question, but is it that it seems like the higher ups in the what are they called? Captains.
For us, it's lieutenants.
Lieutenants.
And one thing I will fucking say, I absolutely fucking love our lieutenants that train.
Right.
So we have, I think, like 8 lieutenants across the department. One of them trains with us at noon sometimes, and we'll have another that's a blue belt. But he quit training for a while, and he's coming back training now because we were pushing him to train. So we got 2 lieutenants that train pretty regularly now, and we got 2 more that show up at the grappling club and all of our seminars.
Nice.
Yeah, that's something we do. We host seminars where we,
Go over
teach
defensive tactics.
Yeah, well, the seminars are more defensive tactics, and the grappling club is, just when you think about me like straight sport jiu-jitsu. I mean, like, we don't spend I always try and give little disclaimers like knee shield may not be the right position to rely on in a street fight.
Right.
Yes.
Fair.
Because like it's kind of one of those things. Like I lost an MMA fight because at the time, like I was training a lot of sport jiu-jitsu and a lot in the gi, which wasn't the right move. You know what I mean? Because like one the time, like our coaching system was kind of divided, and one of the coaches was like pushing me to be like a sport jiu-jitsu competitor. That's what he wanted me to be. And another coach was wanting to take me like basically just MMA, and they didn't always organize things very well. And I don't think one of the sports jiu-jitsu coach necessarily had the best understanding of what it takes to use jiu-jitsu effectively in MMA. Nothing against that guy, just
Yeah.
Right.
it just wasn't
he
his
had
thing.
his contacts.
Right,
and-
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, like great grappler, but just wasn't necessarily what I needed to get ready for an MMA fight.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, right, everything exists in a bubble, right? Like you're going to fight somebody different who's got a knife than fight somebody just bare hand, right?
Or somebody who's sweated up greasy, no gi versus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think about, at least me, like, personally, like, I'm almost strictly a no-gi guy. Like, I've medaled at some big tournaments in the gi, but I fucking hate the gi.
Really?
Like, I'll train in it, but for me, like, jiu-jitsu, like, what it boils down to is it should be a combat sport, right? Nobody starts jiu-jitsu because they want to, you know what I'm going to do?
Win world championships by advantage.
I want to manage to sneak my lapel through his ankle, wrap it around twice, and not him be able to break that grip. Then I'm going to sweep him to his butt, and he's going to pop back up, and I'm going to get an advantage point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I love sport jiu-jitsu. I'm a sport jiu-jitsu competitor. I love the IBJJF. You know what I mean?
These seem like you sir, are a man of contrast. Right?
Yeah.
I'm all over the place with different things. But I think that, like, everything you do should be relatively relatable to your ability to survive a violent encounter.
Okay.
Combative roots.
Yeah, right. Like, that's what jiu-jitsu is, right? Like, one of my buddies, a black belt, I think he's 3rd degree now, Brian Jones, he runs a page called Old School Jiu-Jitsu, and he does a lot of combative stuff. Paul Sharp does too. I really like training with Paul. I've trained with him a couple times. I went to one of his seminars for, like, fighting in a weapons-based environment. I mean, like, if you're an officer and you live in Chicagoland, get a hold of either Larry Lindemann or Paul Sharp. Like, whenever I have a tactics question,
Those are the guys.
I call, like, I mean, like, I don't call them because, like, I work second shift, so it's like, I get off work at 2, so I'm like, Larry, he may not look it, but he's an old man. So, like, I can't be like,
Call him at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it's like,
morning.
Hey, Larry, I had a problem pulling a guy out of a vehicle today. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is.
Right.
So, like, I usually call him and talk to him about different stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If you're an officer in the greater Chicagoland area, Paul and Larry are great resources.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things too, like with Larry's so like, I always say Larry's who I want to be when I grow up, but Larry's so unassuming with everything about him. Like, you wouldn't know he was a brown belt world champ. You wouldn't know that he was ISP SWAT, you know, unless you really ask him for it. Like, he's got so much knowledge that you just, he like, if you ask him, he's more than willing to help you, but he's not like, hey, you know, did I mention that I'm probably the most badass motherfucker you've ever met? You know what I mean? Like that's not Larry, and I'm with 100% certainty.
Yeah, we had Larry on the podcast.
Yeah, between like his knife fighting stuff he does with Craig Douglas, his firearms training, and like all the other stuff he does, you know, like he's a big deal. Like, man crush on Larry.
Just a little. But yeah, we've had Paul and Larry both on the podcast.
Yeah.
Both
great episodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've had a chance to train with Paul before.
Yeah, I'm depending on what time we get out of here and stuff, I'm either supposed to be meeting Matt, call him out for beers, or meeting Artie up for some training. See if Paul's up there.
Very cool. You going to the new location? I know they
they
moved.
switched. I went to the old location last time I was up there for it, but
Wait, what location?
So SBG is no longer at their previous location
Oh, I didn't
in
know that.
Elgin. It's in Bartlett now, I think.
yeah, I mean, it ain't a big transition, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, still out that way.
I see. Yeah, it's Elgin and Bartlett, not too far apart.
Yeah. Yeah. They're. Damn it! What's the name of it? It's in like a huge shared space, like a yoga studio now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
As
remember
always,
seeing it, but I don't remember all the fine details of it, unfortunately.
Did you watch the fights yesterday?
UFC?
Yeah.
I did my classic. I'm going to catch the highlights.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw a bit of the highlights. Like I said, I went through watched Fight to Win. I just watched I watched Nicky's match. I watched Wagner's match, and then I caught in between those was Tex Johnson versus Tim Spriggs. That was another interesting match.
Why do you say that?
And went to decision. Johnson pulled guard right away. Spriggs tried to pass a lot. Johnson's got that super inverty game, which is kind of weird for a guy his size, but that's the way he plays.
Yeah. Was it in the gi or no gi?
This is no gi, sorry.
Okay.
And it was just like he was able to shut down all of Spriggs' passing attempts and wasn't able to get off any offensive zone either, though. Yeah. So it's one of those matches that I generally don't like to see. Like one guy's going to sit down and not want to stand up. The other guy's going to try to not get entangled on the way in. Right. If he can't pass, basically nothing exciting is going to happen.
Yeah,
That's JiuJitsu. That's what happens.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes they're standing up, nothing's happening. There's one guy sitting.
I mean, to be fair, I understand why you maybe want to sit against Tim Spriggs. He's got fantastic takedowns, but but I wouldn't sit against Tim Spriggs. I'd just get taken down.
So I went against Tim when Tim was a purple belt. And I don't warm up. I don't stretch. I don't do any of that shit.
Why not? Because
he's always ready to go. Obviously,
ready to go. That's it.
Yeah. No, like, to be honest with you, I don't. Right. Like, this is what I am. We're gonna go there. We're gonna figure out who's better. And my match is at 9. I'm not a morning person. And I walk out there. I'm shaking it loose. I start trying to get my grips going against him. I didn't know who he was. I didn't really research anything in my bracket. Yeah. That double grip, like Seinagi he hits? Double sleeve grip?
Yeah. Launched you?
Fucking launched me.
Really?
Yeah.
So what does he do? He grabs the grips there?
Yeah.
Does
So, that a real, a lot of people do it off of, a collar.
Sleeve collar.
Yeah, a sleeve collar, but they do the same side collar as the sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Marote.
Yeah, Marote, but it's same side.
Yeah.
He basically does it with 2 sleeve grips. At least he used to do it a lot. I haven't watched a lot of his matches
Does
recently.
he turn and spin?
Yeah, but like in a regular Seinagi, your goal is to get as far underneath them as possible between their legs.
Right.
He kind of hops off to the side, which is kind of more the way they seem to be doing it in jiu-jitsu.
Right. Yeah.
So he hops on either side of the legs. He's on the other side. He's not between your legs.
Yeah, no, he's not trying to bring you directly over his head. He's trying to bring you out and around with like a lot of velocity. Yeah. So
kind of like casting a line.
Most guys, if they don't have like a
little fishing reference,
I'm trying to be relatable.
There you go. Everyone appreciates
even
that.
though I don't fish. So.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going more of like a crack and a whip.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't whip either, so.
I don't do the whips, no.
What about Nene?
Dance. Never.
no
too old.
idea.
He's too old.
Yeah.
I have kids. That's the only reason I know, so it's okay.
I got 2 freaking stepsons now, so but even then, like I had to deal with that bullshit. 'Cause I had little kids, like when I was teaching kids class at headquarters.
Mm-hmm. Oh. The floss is the big one that they.
They do that shit, and I swear to God, like every time you start trying to dance,
you just get mad.
I'm like you're mad. We line dance in this damn household. No, my stepsons are awesome.
That's good. So anyway, getting back to Tim Spriggs. So he does that to you.
Yeah, he fucking launches me, right? And I'm stuck in his bottom of his side control, and he's just kind of like yawning. And I finally managed to get to turtle. I'm starting to hand fight. He takes my back, got me the bow and arrow.
Oh, wow. This is at purple?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my bracket that day was like Ilias. You guys know him out of Seraphin.
Yeah.
It was like Ilias, me, and I think Cruz.
Wow. Murderers Row.
Yeah, it was a tough group, right? You know, it was like one of those things like, at the time, I think Ilias was probably the least accomplished. I wasn't necessarily that much of an accomplished competitor. So that was like my first match ever at Purple Belt was Tim Spriggs.
Jeez.
That's a rough start.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, right? Like, you need to know where you are.
Right.
You got to step in there eventually, measure yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You can't be sandbagging the whole time.
Shut the hell up.
I mean, so, like...
Go ahead, ask what.
No,
Oh, I love fucking with Javi. It's so much fun. And
yeah.
Paul Maloney also loves to do it. Loves when I do it.
Well,
so
Paul,
you know.
well, it's good to know that he's at least still listening to the show.
Yes, he is. Yes.
But, yeah, well, that is what it is.
And you know what else is exciting? This coming up this week, I just realized a new season of Ancient Aliens is coming out.
Oh, God.
A whole new season. Oh, my God. It's so crazy. It's like my little thing I have.
your little guilty pleasure.
It is, yeah.
So, like...
Can't be that guilty.
I know, right? But I still feel...
it's the History Channel, right?
It's the History Channel,
Yeah,
right?
what could possibly go wrong?
Right. It's just, I can't believe that this is like 15 seasons or some shit. It's
Oh, yeah. Wait.
No.
It's been on for 15 seasons?
No.
Yeah.
It has it?
Yeah.
I've only been out of high school 12 years, and I don't think I remember it coming out when I was still in high school.
I think it's season 14 I was watching yesterday.
Damn. I don't...
So, like
Maybe I just wasn't aware of it in the early seasons. People weren't joking around about it enough yet.
yeah, I mean, I hadn't hit mainstream maybe or something like
Maybe
that.
it hasn't hit
Yeah,
mainstream.
but
Let me see.
I was unaware.
So, like, I'm into, like, a lot of that kind of, like, weird stuff, like, you know.
Sure. Oh, this is going to take a wild turn again.
It's fine.
but, like-
I don't mind. Yeah. There's 14 right now.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, like, the Ancient Aliens, like, I think there's, like, you know, lost technology for sure. Like, I think that, you know, moving those blocks at 22 minutes, like, I was an iron worker. Like, we ain't doing that now.
Right.
So I think something was lost in there. But to act like humans are incapable of figuring things out and that we have to have ancient alien technology to get things done, like, it's just like, how do we have a little bit of faith in humanity, right? You know what I mean? Like, we can figure stuff out.
Right.
Yeah, no, like, that's what it always comes down to for me, too. It's like, I don't know how to explain it because I don't know that much about engineering.
Right.
So if I got an engineer on one end explaining it to me and I've got some guy who's just going, it was aliens on the other end, I know about as much about both sides of the argument.
Exactly.
You know, but
My whole thing is just lost civilizations. I think that
shit's fascinating.
We think that it was hunter-gatherer before us.
No,
and we're the only
so,
technologically
like,
advanced people that could ever been.
I don't know that we ever had iPhones before. But,
I don't disagree, but we could have had some
No,
other cool shit.
I would not be surprised.
I do think
if-
things have been lost. Like,
Right.
you know, like, I'm definitely open to the idea of, like,
Longer timeline.
Yeah, longer timeline.
Yeah, no, that,
You know,
that definitely seems plausible to me. I definitely believe
Because how many
it.
times has the Earth been reset? You know, just in major disasters.
right, yeah.
I agree.
We might get
You
reset.
know, and like,
Let's not talk about that. That's
You know,
depressing.
It just could happen.
Well, I agree that probably within the next like 50 years or so, there's going to be a crazy resetting in America. Yeah, I mean, like, I think things are just getting so polarized. Like, so I just think that there's going to be something really crazy to happen in the next 50 years.
I mean, how technology is going now, I don't see how it can sustain the way we keep growing and not being aware of our surroundings and just. It's scary. It's fucking scary. It's really weird. Technology. I'm in the technology field, and it's driving me crazy. Just dealing with the clients I have to deal with, and how businesses are building upon.
Are you about to go on a rant about how nobody knows how to use the computer anymore?
No, not that.
Okay.
Restart it.
Yeah, right.
Red button.
Red button. No, that is not a cup holder. It's a CD-ROM.
That doesn't actually happen anymore,
Not anymore,
does it? Jesus.
But it used to.
I know for a fact that used to
Yes,
happen. Yeah,
for sure it did.
I've experienced that basically firsthand now.
But what I'm seeing
But
now, the trends of businesses that are coming up, is that they don't have a business. They're just feeding off the current businesses. I can only relate this to, say, my current clients. I had a client
Who shall remain nameless?
No, Freddy's Pizza. Freddy's Pizza.
I tried Freddy's.
They're the best. They're the best, and I love their pizza. I love their food. The greatest people. And she calls me because I maintain their website and I help them out. She says, Anthony, people are calling saying that we have online ordering. And she's like, I know we don't have online ordering. I'm like, I know you don't. She's like, well, on our Google, it says we have online ordering. I'm like, okay, let me go check it out. I maintain their Google page. So I'm like, I didn't know I didn't put online ordering.
Right.
I go on there. On Google, it says go to like slicelife.com or something like that.
Oh, it's a secondary. Yeah.
So I'm like, how the fuck did that? So I go into my Google. I go into a Google page I manage business. I look under, menu. Nothing's on there.
Okay.
I go to their Google page. Slicelife.com is on. I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? So if you call that number, it comes up, like you click on the link, it takes you to a menu that would look like Freddy's,
right.
And then gives you a phone number that's not Freddy's, and then you call that number, it rings at Freddy's Pizzeria, and someone will take your order. But I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? So the owner's like, Anthony, can you find out what the fuck? So I called Slice Life. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's a free service we offer. We put you on our website. It doesn't cost you anything. And then I'm like, wait a minute. How did you get on our Google page? Like, how the fuck did that happen? Because I administrate the Google page.
Right.
How the fuck did you get there? She's like, oh, we have a deal. What's the deal? You contact Google, and Google just puts you as the main primary. It's shady shit.
Right.
So Slice Life, basically what they're doing is this. I'll give you the gist. They're going to put your business for nothing on their website. And then all their millennials will go to their site and order pizza and whatever else they're going to order off their site. Use their phone
I like how it had to be
number.
millennials, but go ahead.
I say he just
Majority
aged
of it is.
himself.
That did. The majority of the
Sure,
people
sure.
who
Go
fall
ahead,
for
go
this
ahead.
are the millennials. So they will go to that site, and then they're going to retain your customer. Their customer's going to now know their phone number, use their website, and then at some point, they're going to charge that customer back to you because they're going to say, listen, we have all these customers coming to our site ordering from, why don't you join us? And then we'll, help your business out. And all we want is 7% or whatever the percentage
It's the
might
Facebook
be.
of pizza. Is that what you're saying?
It's ridiculous. All these businesses, they don't have a business. There is no, if all these restaurants stop using Slice Life, Grubhub, DoorDash, all of them just stop using them, they don't have a business. They literally have no business. They're not offering anything other than getting millennials to go to their website to buy food from you.
I mean they're
charging you that.
They're selling a service.
I think the service is bullshit because all they're doing is using stupid marketing tactics to get people to go to their website. The customer can do the exact same thing.
Well, yeah, but you use Grubhub as an example. Like
Yeah, Grubhub.
they're bringing you food.
Grubhub and
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Who's the other one? There's
Uber
another one.
Eats.
Uber
Uber
Eats.
Eats, yeah.
They're all providing the driver service, but what they're also doing is taking Grubhub, especially takes 20-something%.
Double sandbagging. It's a yellow belt.
Yeah. JiuJitsu. It's a gift from one of my
That's
students.
funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Is that a koozie for your water thing?
So this is actually technically a beer koozie.
It's a beer koozie?
but yeah, it's stretchy enough that it fits over my water bottle.
That's crazy.
But no drinking.
Right. No drink.
Besides water.
Yeah. And he straight up approached me like that. He's like, hey, I don't know if you drink. I'm like, I don't. He's like, well, I don't know if you'll be able to use this gift, but I saw it and I thought of you.
That's hilarious. That's funny, dude. So anyway, so Slice Life, and anyway, I got them taken off, and the number doesn't forward there anymore. It's just shady. It's just stupid shit.
I'm not denying that sounds
if you
shady.
had a business, and then someone said, and I'm like imposing on your business, and I'm taking a number, and I'm telling people to come to my website to order stuff from your business, you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? I don't want you representing my business."
Again,
I don't know who you are.
I'm not saying that doesn't sound shady, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, pick the restaurant, McDonald's. You know, like you're at work. You don't have an opportunity to leave the office. You want some McDonald's. You don't have an intern to send.
Right.
You know, you go to Grubhub or Uber Eats or whatever the hell service of choice. They send a driver. They bring it over to you. You pay them. You know, like, people are happy to do that. That's a service that's being provided.
The problem with that service is it's costing the person who actually made the business 20% of their business for that service. Now that they're trying to take that service back. They have delivery, they have drivers, but what they don't have is that stupid guerrilla type marketing that Grubhub uses, and the tactics of throwing up websites, fake menu sites, fake numbers that all drive traffic away from that mom and pop place into Grubhub, and then obtain those customers from Grubhub, and then Grubhub feeds their customers other places besides that little mom and pop place.
Oh, of course they are.
And
Yeah.
it's a fucking terrible. It's terrible. They offer nothing. They are literally are.
But like
hurting the business
McDonald's
more than
doesn't.
anything.
Whatever.
Right.
You know, restaurant of choice may not offer delivery service. Like a pizza joint, obviously.
But
I shouldn't say obviously.
should be
Most of them
up
probably
to
do have delivery.
The restaurant should then say, "Yes, I want you to do that." Not just take advantage of the fact that, hey, well, this is what we do. It's free, so don't worry about it. No. I don't want Slice Life managing my customers. I want my customers going to your website. Then we don't offer it. Then that's it. You don't get to just take a part of my customers and say you offer this service. I just think it's dishonest. So Freddy's Pizza didn't tell Slice Life they could do this. Didn't say you can take a phone number, take our menu, put it on your website, do any of that stuff. Add your link to our Google page.
Like I said, that stuff
That's
definitely
shady.
sounds shady.
Yeah.
But again, like
Grubhub and throws up fake websites, buys up domain names similar to your restaurant, and throws up fake websites and drives traffic away from your site to theirs, so they can obtain that customer to get more of that 20% plus. That's shady business. They're not offering anything. They're taking customers and making you dependent on them, and now you have to give up 20% of your fucking business to them every month. So what do? As a business owner, you raise your rates, you raise your prices on just Grubhub, just to get that 20% back.
Grubhub, downfall of society.
I think this is the problem when we talk about technology moving forward, and then people come up with these business ideas and they're saying, "Oh, I have a business now. I'm whatever the business," and you're really just not creating anything. It's like the movies recreating Charlie's Angels or recreating this, or they don't have anything new. They have no new thing. They're just going to go back and start recreating stuff and just sell it back to you. And a lot of people are trying to do this with technology. Like, "Oh, I'm going to create the new this, and I'm just going to drive off that person's success and take a piece of their pie." And I think it's shitty. And if this is the way it's keep going, this is a trend, man, no more original ideas. It's going to be fucked up. Sorry, that was my rant.
That was quite the rant.
Sorry.
I
Whatever.
I wasn't prepared to refute that one either. I don't know enough about how the back end works.
Yeah,
I just know that occasionally I want food from a place that doesn't deliver.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I
my
know.
options are Uber Eats, Grubhub,
Right.
and DoorDash.
Yes.
Or I guess Postmates too. That's a thing, right?
There's a bunch out there.
Yeah.
It's too many. I walk into some clients, they just have tablets along the wall. I'm like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like, "I don't know. I need to do this." I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Just 7 tablets on the wall.
Wait,
all
for what?
different.
This is at the
Restaurants,
restaurant
yeah.
for ordering?
Yeah, because they have to have all these
Because
tablets.
people don't know how to type anymore.
No. They have to have these tablets from all these companies that want a piece of their. They're like, "Oh, well, you want to do this? We have to have a rewards program person. We have this." It's just insane. And they all take a piece of the process. So I'll give you an example. One of my clients, has a little slow season, so he's like, "Hey, I need to do something to drum up some more business." So I'm gonna hire this company called 5 Stars. It's a rewards program. They used to have something called Belly back in the day.
Yeah, I've still got a Belly card.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think
it's in
they're
my
around.
phone.
I don't think
but
they're around anymore.
yeah, I mean, there's
Are
still.
they?
I mean, I don't know how big they are, but there's still some local businesses that use them out by where I live.
You pay them a couple $100 a month,
Sure.
right?
I
As a
always
business
assumed
owner,
it wasn't free,
right?
but
and then they're gonna market or give rewards to your customers.
Right.
Problem is that they're marketing to what they say is hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of people. The problem is if you're in, whatever, I'll just say Berwyn area,
Sure.
your restaurant's in Berwyn, and this company's marketing to thousands and tens of thousands of people to what they claim. How many of those tens of thousands of people live in Berwyn? A small percentage.
To be fair, I have never gone and visited a business just because they had belly. So
you.
yeah, I get it.
Exactly. So it's another person trying to take another nickel from that fucking business owner and selling them fucking woohoo. Shit doesn't work, and I think it's shitty. And it's shitty because the business owner is kind of desperate and actually does need help, and these companies never deliver that help. They just take in nickels. That's it. It's unfortunate. Anyway.
So
Sam, tell us how we can fix it all.
more jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Till Elon Musk just finishes his Bluetooth connection, you can just upload programs in your brain.
Did you see that? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch about it. I've read about it.
I tried to watch that Neuralink, his, what is it called, that speech? What do they call it?
Isn't it just called Neuralink?
Yeah, but what's his speech? They call it something like his initial speech about it. Apple does it every year. What do they call that speech?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't
call
use
it something.
Apple products, so I don't know what they
You know
call
what
it.
I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, like
Whatever.
Google I/O does their whole.
Yeah. So I tried to watch Elon Musk explain. He's a horrible speaker. I don't think he's a great speaker.
I mean, he's a
doesn't need to
revolutionary
be.
super genius millionaire.
You can't be everything.
I guess you can't, but
I'm okay if he's not
What do you
the
want?
full
You-
Tony Stark.
Exactly.
you want Dana White to show up and like talk for him? Like, what do you want?
I think he needs that. I think
Oh
he
my
does need
God.
that.
Listen,
Dana White
you
would definitely-
fucks.
Yes, I agree.
You're
think
gonna buy this car because it's electric and it's awesome.
No, the Neuralink was definitely needed a little bit of something like a Tony Stark head in him
No,
because he was
so,
just very
like-
stumbling and talking. I'm
No,
like,
so
I
like
can't
for me,
really-
like I'd almost rather somebody be a little stumbly. Like
Really?
me, like I want fucking real.
okay,
Zito wants the car salesman.
Yeah, like people who are salesmen-y, like just ain't for me.
okay,
Pastors, salesmen, ain't for me.
pastors, same difference. Yes.
100%.
I agree.
It ain't for me.
Yeah,
No, I get it. When you definitely sense that somebody's trying to sell you something,
Yeah, like
yeah,
I don't want anybody to sell me anything. I know what the fuck I want. You know what I mean? Don't come over here trying to sell me, something that I don't need or want. Like,
Grubhub.
yeah, like whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, show your old geese.
Show your old thing. Definitely the worst offender.
no, I don't understand what you're saying. I want so, but his
Well, so here's the thing.
His
I
speech was a
didn't watch it.
little,
I didn't
like-
watch it. Are you saying he
I couldn't follow it. I was like, oh god, dude,
like he
just
didn't
get it out.
articulate the
Just
idea
get it out
well,
already.
or
yeah, he didn't. I had to get it out already.
The like, I don't know. The weirdest thing to me about Elon is that he like has completely like flipped script. For the longest time, he was like anti AI, but AI is gonna be like the end of human existence as we know it. And then like a year ago maybe he was like, you know what, fuck it, I can't stop it. And he like completely flipped script. Now he's doing all this stuff to like make us closer to being androids.
right.
I think he came to that tipping point where he was like, I can't stop this, can't beat him.
Yeah, and
Don't just join them.
Yeah.
Be at the top of the heap.
yeah, and like I
It's Freddy's Pizza.
No, I don't.
No, and like I can relate to like one being on top of the heap, but it's like one of those things like I don't understand how you can go from like
Total 180 and
yeah, especially like when you're in a financial position where you ain't got to do it.
right.
I
certainly
think
can't
Elon, like he's a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like unless you're just power hungry, once you reach a certain amount of like wealth, there's nothing really to gain besides like doing what you want to do. And
Sure.
like I think that just completely flipping script on like some AI that he was so against before is like, I just a little bit like to me like like I can understand like rethinking positions and stuff like that. Like I've rethought positions and changed my mind before, but just the kind of his rationale behind it just kind of like left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. And I love Elon. I think he's great. But I'm saying like just a little bit. I was like,
maybe I got the wrong interpretation, but I thought it was more of a, like, you see the writing on the wall, your company can choose to participate in it or not, but there's this many benefits now to doing it, so it's worth it for him. Not just from like a financial perspective, but like people expect it. The you know, like obviously the AI aspects with just the simplest stuff, air quotes simple, you know, like with the cars making choices and becoming driverless and whatnot, you know, like that's a direction that he wants to move in, and this is the method of getting there, you know?
Yeah. Which kind of like leads me to another thing that kind of like irks me with Elon Musk. Like, granted, of course, like I would love to hang out with Elon and like get to know him. So like, don't ever think I'm like bad mouthing he says, but like he'll go through and like talk trash about socialism, but like, yeah, you know, I think most socialists are, you know, not pleasant people to be around, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But then later on, he's like, you know, as much as like we've been creating automation, maybe we should go to universal basic income and stuff like that.
That's a very popular opinion right now, it seems. Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm just saying, like, for me, like, I don't understand how you can be like anti-socialism,
Pro universal basic income.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that is what socialism is, right?
I think there's a. I think people.
I mean, like the way, like I break things down in my mind. It's like, right? Socialism is like, as a society, we're supposed to collectively take care of everyone's, you know, basic needs and necessities, right?
Right.
But then all of a sudden, we're like, you know, that's what you're trying to do here by giving them a universal basic income, so they have money to cover those things.
Right.
It still has to come from somewhere. I don't know who it's coming from.
I've heard various proposals. I don't know enough about economics to break down the math of it. So.
Oh, you guys talking about Sorry, I had to go.
Yeah,
I kept getting blown up here by nothing.
I'm sure it was very
sometimes.
important.
It was not important at all.
To them it was, though?
I don't understand it. I mean, they call me like an ex-girlfriend like 6 times in a row. It was insane.
You're like, oh God, something real major's going on.
Like the, you know, house is on fire or something.
Right, and instead it's like, oh, hi.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, universal basic income.
Yeah, we were just talking about Elon.
Well, here's the thing, and I think about this often when I start thinking about. I do.
You've got deeper thoughts on this than I do,
well,
perhaps.
Not deeper thought. I just think about like when we talk about money, like where's the money come from? This and that. Is there a figure of how much money the government takes in on just taxes and everything? Is there a giant figure of that? Is there like? Can we Google that? Like,
somebody's got to have that number.
Hey,
I don't know
what number.
I don't know what it is.
What is a number of just of what it takes?
It's clearly less than they're spending, because
Right.
that's what the deficit is. But
So,
like, what is that number? It's gotta be a giant number. Everything is taxed, right? Everything is taxed.
trust me, everything's
right.
taxed.
And
everything is taxed on a state and federal level. There's multiple layers to this.
All that money's pouring into
State, federal, local.
right.
Yeah.
Everything. All that money's pouring into government, and the government spends X amount of dollars on
All of it, just all of it.
Right? All of it, right? There's like military. There's this, all that,
Sure,
all the huge things. I don't know.
You want to be showed the numbers? Is that what you're
Show me the numbers. Where the fuck is that money going? Like, simplistically show me the numbers.
Like I said,
don't make it too complex.
Doesn't
but
matter how big those numbers are. They're always going to spend more than they have.
They're always going to spend more, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of fixing how the government's run.
Freaking Alexander Hamilton.
And then understanding and simplifying it a lot. I think there's too much politics in the government. Does that make sense?
No, but by definition, there's always going to be politics in the government.
Too much. It's too much. It's too much. Too much.
Too much pork.
Too much in there. I just think it's.
All
the
right.
problem is people just.
Did you Google it?
Did you?
Yeah.
You got it? Go ahead.
In 2015, total federal revenues in fiscal year 2015 are expected to be $3.18 trillion. Income taxes paid by individual is $1.48 trillion.
Same.
It's a big number. It's a lot of.
You know,
it's a
the
lot
average
of fucking
American
zeros.
spends more paying his taxes than he does for his house and his food.
Incredible.
Doesn't surprise me, but had not ever broken it down, I guess.
Oh no, I mean like my weird political niches, like they always post that stuff like that.
I got a buddy who's. I mean, I have several, but yeah, I got a. Buddy
And then you
who's
got so
very seriously libertarian.
as all this money's pouring in to the government, that money then is being invested in other places, and it's gaining interest. Our money pays the government. The government then takes our money and says invests it in oil and this and that.
No, they're not investing in it.
You don't think so?
I mean, they might be. If you want to talk about like infrastructure being an investment,
I'm saying like
I don't think the government. I mean, they might be. I mean, but
certain investments in, say, big oil or whatever the.
So I don't think the government's buying stock in Shell.
No. I don't think so either. But I think they're making sure that certain places are still doing well.
No, I mean, I agree they do that. I think that, banks constantly get propped up by or they did, back when.
Right.
Too big to fail.
Too big to fail.
What a crock of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that like how, the free market of whatever it is supposed to do? Like, if something doesn't work, you let it fail and you let it die. Banks that bank ain't working because they take, shitty loans out for people. You should let them learn their lesson and let them fail. You don't need to keep propping them up, right? Like, let's say me and you are rolling, and you're doing a sweep. We're rolling. You do a sweep and it doesn't work, but I let you do it, or I defend the sweep. I do everything correct, and then I'm like, you know what?
He tried real hard.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Let me roll over. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
no, like that's not the way things are supposed to work at any level of anything.
Exactly.
Either they work and there's a reward, or they don't work
Right.
and they need to be friggin' taken out back and shot with the lame horses.
Yeah. Did you guys watch that Netflix doc called The Great Hack?
No,
I-
I didn't. Which is that one?
Oh my god, dude, it's fucking insane. So I'll give you the prep. Okay. This is I haven't finished it. I'm like it's 2-hour doc, and I'm like a little over an hour into it.
Why are we talking about this doc that you haven't even finished? What if
But
it turns out terrible? And then I'm like,
it's not gonna turn out terrible. But
last 15 minutes of the worst time of my life.
The last clothesline is maybe pedophilia isn't that bad.
no, it's horrible. So the Great Hack. So basically, they're talking about the election with Trump and how social media is being influenced, or how they're influencing social media
Bots
to
and Russians
change. Not the Russians. Well, not really the Russians, but how they're using social media to change interest in people. So basically, let's just say this.
So I don't know. I think shadow banning is more than a imaginary conspiracy. Like it's real. Like they will take people who they don't agree with and hide them. And at the same time, I'm sure that conversely, foreign governments are creating fake Facebooks and trying to spread disinformation.
It's 100%. The problem is that they're changing the whole political views of certain individuals, and I'm telling you, this documentary is like fucking. It'll blow your mind. So people they're gonna throw stuff in your feed that you don't even realize because you're normally that'll be normal in your feed, but they'll just change it up a little bit. And just to change the narrative and make you think, oh, well, maybe I should go this way instead of that way. They do their data collection is so fucking insane that you don't even realize they're fucking with you, and they're changing your mind. I can't do it enough justice, but I would definitely watch. Like I said, I'm a little over an hour into it. And
I'll sit down and watch it.
It's fucking.
I'll text you or something to get back to you on it.
Yeah, it's fucking fascinating. It's just fascinating that these companies out there exist, and that how much data is worth in the world of Google and Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
how
one of
they're
those-
changing the political.
So
not just on our election here, but in overseas, in the UK and Africa, and how
maybe
they're
that's why.
changing
Grand
everything.
course, I can't.
It's a scary. They're saying basically it's like warfare. It's like digital warfare.
Warfare of ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, in the information age, that's what the real battlegrounds
And our
are.
kids, not my kids, I don't have kids, but your kids are growing up and not knowing what it was like to not have this at your, like this iPhone, and not understanding that that this is all bullshit. You got to understand none of this is real.
I think you underestimate the youth.
I don't know.
So
I think
the
people who
going
get
from
most hoodwinked by this shit are actually the old folks.
Are they really? Oh God, that's even worse.
No,
I hope so. I hope that's the case. I hope
my
they get this
kids know
smart.
my kids know like what a Nigerian scammer is way better than my mother does.
Nigerian scammer. Okay. I hope so. I hope that's true. That's good.
Yeah. You're all like pray for the future, and my son's over there like, yeah, no, that's why I don't do Instagram.
Nah, exactly.
You know?
No, it's one of the things like if I didn't have so many like spread out friends, like I got friends, out in Idaho, I got friends, Arizona now, I got.
Yeah.
So like because of that, if I didn't have that, I would almost completely lose contact with them. And like. I got jiu-jitsu friends everywhere. I got, hunting, fishing friends everywhere. I got. So I think without social media, I would really lose touch with them. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
like there's guys like I'm not gonna like. There's one guy, Alex Lubear. He's a brown belt now. I met him when he was down in Southern Illinois at SIU. And me and him, met at a police test, and he was finishing up his degree to be a fisheries management mat. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. Where's some good place to go fishing around here? I got family, but they're all old and. We don't really go out and do a whole lot. Me and my uncle still go hike, but so like because of that, like it was like, oh, and you train jiu-jitsu, and like we just became like, not really good friends, and like
but
like
acquaintances.
I would say like
Good acquaintances.
Yeah, good acquaintances. Like like when I killed my turkey this year, I mailed him off a bunch of feathers so he can tie flies.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Wait. I'm sorry. I didn't understand what you just said. Tie up flies?
That was a combination hunting and fishing reference in one. Wow. You see, the turkey has feathers.
Yes.
Once you've killed the bird, you have to figure out what you want to do with the rest of the, like the feathers.
Yeah.
He had no probably practical use for the majority of them.
No, I don't. And like I want to start.
So what do you do with the feathers? What's tie up? What did you say? Tie up flies?
Fly fishing.
So
I don't get the feather reference.
So the flies, the little lures you use.
Yes.
You tie them up and around a hook, and it looks like a gnat or whatever. Yeah. So my buddy Lubear, he's phenomenal. Like he's always posting stuff, and he's big into trout fishing. And so he's always out fly fishing. And he hand ties and stuff. He's a really interesting guy. And so like I was like, I just got a freaking turkey. I'm all freaking jacked up on no sleep and 6 nosses and
sounds like a terrible combination.
Oh, I mean that's my life. I mean, like if you work second shift,
right. I work third shift.
Well, third shift in my mind it was almost easier.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I used to work second.
So yeah, my misery story of 2 turkey seasons ago. I'm new to turkey season. I'm new to turkey hunting, really. You know what I mean? Like, I've turkey hunted like once or twice before, but like, I would not consider myself a turkey hunter at this point. And I really probably shouldn't consider myself a turkey hunter now.
I mean, you've caught a turkey. You've successfully hunted a turkey.
Yes.
You are now a turkey
There is
hunter.
now a turkey fan.
Is there that turkey farm you go to the hunt? Where are you hunting these turkeys?
We go to Kroger.
I feel like I have a real important job here translating between these two worlds.
I want to understand, like,
turkey are wild animals.
So where you going?
All the animals that are like you currently think about eating regularly at one point, they were wild animals.
Got it. Where are there wild turkeys?
Well, if I can't tell you because you can go to my spot. No, so like
not in Illinois.
No, there are. Yeah,
absolutely.
I've been turkey hunting in Illinois a couple times.
Yeah, really? Ironically enough, we saw turkey on the way down to our trip to LaSalle. That I was just talking about. Yeah,
like crossing the street.
No. Well, they were in a field. I mean,
okay.
No, only chickens cross the street.
Across the road, sir.
I'm sorry,
the road.
No, so like, and like me and Lou Bear wouldn't have like continued our friendship. Like me and him have
Were
like
it not for social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
I agree.
So,
Social
like-
media for that is fantastic.
Yeah, and like
take out all the other,
but
bullshit.
non-profitable probably for the company.
That's what it comes down to.
and
right.
like I, like be honest with you, like I'm willing to see ads for shit I don't need and end up buying like
I see. I'm pretty good at resisting that kind of stuff, but they have finally figured out my personal algorithm.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Let me show you what I bought that my fiance absolutely fucking hates, but it's the coolest fucking thing ever.
You want to
can't
know what
wait.
I do appreciate though? YouTube. So because on my YouTube, I get ads.
You
and
can't
you know who starts talking in my ads? John Donaher. I'm like, what the fuck? Selling his DVD on my YouTube feed. I'm like,
See, I don't get that because I got YouTube Red.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't even know what it's like for you plebs that fucking have normal YouTube with ads.
With
What-
ads,
You and
yeah.
your free market employees. Poor government employee.
But I don't mind that because that's jujitsu related. I'm like, oh, cool. You show
Yes,
me.
see, they figured you out.
They figured me out for
Yeah,
sure.
no.
It's all jujitsu related stuff.
So you would think all mine would be, and a lot of it is, but they've also figured out that like I'm way too into like neat gadgets. Like I have no practical use for this, but
Yeah.
but I must have it. So yeah, like every once in a while I get hit with one of those. I'm like, yeah, my growing collection of multi tools and
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know EDC gear that I don't actually EDC that often. Yeah.
What's your pocket dump?
Well, not very much today because I'm coming from. So there's my
those are
folder
cool.
of choice for today.
Yeah.
And I've got in my bag I've got a
You're
new,
a karambit guy? Come on, you're better than that.
I'm a
Ooh.
very mixed style of knife guy. This is my new current favorite.
No, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, karambits are cool and all, but I do feel obligated to make fun of people who are karambit guys. Karambit guys are usually weird guys.
Oh.
Well, I'm definitely a weird guy, but
Yeah,
hold on,
that's for sure.
Be right back.
Oh, what do you got to get?
Where's the release on this?
So that's a really cool opening mechanism, but the release is kind of hidden.
Oh, okay.
It's right there.
That's handy.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I like it. I like knives. I'm a K-bar guy whenever I'm carrying a knife specifically for self-defense. Like a little, like, not a clench pick. I'm not that cool. I didn't want to spend the
What is
money.
it? The one that goes between your knuckles?
That's a punch dagger. Those are really cool, too.
Those are cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's a multi-tool.
Yeah.
When I need a straight edge, that's what I've got right now on me today.
What the shit is that?
That's why
Strider?
no, it's Smith & Wesson. It was cheap.
Oh, okay. I just saw the back edge. I'm like, that's so thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
No, that's my
Is that legal to carry?
I mean, he's carrying it. He is the law.
That's true. But is that legal for?
only in the Fayette County. So don't be asking me legal questions.
But is that legal for like a normal? Doesn't it like a 4-finger thing?
It's a folder. Any officer that tries to write you up for concealed deadly weapon on that's an asshole.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
Can confirm.
Can I call him that and say you said that? I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I know a guy
My
that
bro
thinks
says,
you're an asshole.
Yeah, my bro says you're an asshole if you write me this ticket. Yeah, see how that works out for you.
Well,
I like
you
that
be
clip.
charged with a felony, but yeah, no, I
that
like
clip
it. And
a
I
lot.
like that. Like,
Can I see that?
Yeah.
I think
No.
it looks- like I could never walk
well,
around.
not in damn skinny jeans.
Well, no, certainly not in skinny
sure.
jeans. That's
For sure not.
No,
but
but
this
yeah,
one
like
is
my-
giant. Like this obviously fits you. Like this is not.
His
for a
hand is
guy
slightly
my-
larger than yours.
My size. Smith and Wesson. I have a spider coat. I bought.
Ooh,
yeah,
an aristocrat.
the spider coat I have is from 1991.
Damn, how did you not lose a
still
pocket
have
knife?
it. I still have it.
No, I've only ever lost one.
No, no.
Like,
See, like me, like I probably average losing. I've gotten better.
Well, that's because he's got skinny jeans on. You know, like
well, like me, like
losing too much.
like I've just got so many dang knives. You know, what I mean, like it annoys my wife that I have so many knives. Like in I've got a little like my warrior rack. I've got one compartment that's literally just my knives, and like so like I'll be out fishing or whatever. I'll set my knife down. Fuck, forgot
Right,
it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Then I'll go back and look for it, or like I'll set it down somewhere around the house. Well, damn, I don't know where my knife is, and I'm not gonna leave the house without a knife. So
yeah, I got my granddad's old fishing knife still. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm
like,
pretty good about keeping awareness of them.
yeah.
You know,
I just keep my knife in my car. I don't carry it on me.
I mean, how are you gonna use it if it's in your damn car?
Yeah, that's about as useful as carrying a freaking gun with like no round in the chamber and in your truck. Like it does you no good. When you need it, you need it.
Yeah, I guess.
The thing that shocks me is like I've got friends and they're like, "Why do you always have a knife on you?" I'm like, "Because when you need it, you need a knife. Like there's no middle ground." And they're like, "I don't carry a knife on me." Yeah, and what do
That's
you
'cause
do?
you know
when
I have
need-
a knife.
Yeah, what do you do when you need one? I ask you.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. So I never
I guess the only
understood.
the only time I really would put it on me is if I was like maybe downtown walking around or something. I'm not like I do.
Like
Why
when
would
you're
you
not
have a gun?
Like when you're not going to have access to your
own a
car,
gun.
you're saying?
But
Don't
I ha-
ever edit that out, Bruno. Don't ever announce
own
that.
a
He's
gun.
actually armed and dangerous. He just showed his piece to me.
Although I do,
It's a high point.
I do have a concealed carry. I do have a concealed carry card, and I'm legal to carry one if I wanted to.
He just
So,
hasn't gotten to
all
that
right,
point
I
yet.
have. I just own one.
as a law-abiding American,
Yes.
it is your duty to carry. Like, I believe that 100%.
Really?
I will pull somebody over and they have their CCDW. I'll be like, hey, where's your gun at? They're like, well, I didn't have it with me. I'll freaking read people the riot act over it.
For having their concealed carry and not actually carrying.
Yeah.
Why?
And, well,
Why?
Well, first of all, you can't use something that you don't have.
Well, I don't
and
have
if it's
a gun.
not on
Right,
you,
right.
you definitely can't.
Yeah,
can't
certainly
use it.
not. But why is it bad to not have a gun on you?
Well, because I would much rather a bad person get shot than a good person be a victim of any crime.
Agree.
And that's why.
But normally the good people, they're usually the ones that don't end up getting shot. It's the innocent bystanders that probably get shot more than anything. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable just pointing out and shooting someone, but I'd rather choke that person to death.
So,
Jesus. This guy,
know,
dark fast, folks.
Sorry.
So I'd much rather take them home.
I would feel more comfortable doing that than shooting them. Yeah, I'd rather.
You know, so like,
I'm
think,
close to personal type of guy.
yeah. Well, I mean, maybe the crumpet's right for you.
Yeah, maybe.
Hold on. Let's find out. Let's slide that one over. So,
No, but like,
I get that objection. I do get that objection. But, and I definitely 100% want your perspective on this as an officer of the law. But I think another added layer to that is, like, if you just own a gun and you don't practice it with it super regularly, become very competent in using it, drawing, so that, like, if you're not going to put the time in,
I get all that.
That definitely seems like a detriment.
Here's where it falls off the rails for me. You can go to the gun range every fucking week, shoot the gun. You're a fucking dead-eyed fucking marksman. You're the best. But you never got into a fight. You don't know what it's like to be in altercations. You don't know any of the other stuff what's going to happen when that person comes up to you and you got to fucking deal with someone who's going to try to kill you. You're going to be fumbling for that gun. You're going to try because your heart's going. You're just not in that.
That's where the jiu-jitsu comes in.
I'm used to being fucking beat up and fucking choked and armbarred and just constantly every fucking 4 days a week. I'm just getting my ass kicked. I'm used to those situations. For me. I'm more nervous about that guy who doesn't do that and just goes to gun range every fucking week and just starts shooting.
I agree 100%. I think you got to think about things, and just like in MMA, you got to think about things in range, right? You have range where you're not engaged, range where your hands and feet, range where you're grappling. You know what I mean? So I think that you have to have a self-defense game plan, both armed and unarmed, for every distance of combat, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes your best option may be, right, like, I just took my gun out and put it right there because it was getting uncomfortable. I usually take it out where I sit for a long period of time. But like, if for some reason I decided I'm not carrying my gun that day, let's say I'm at a bar and I'll leave my gun in my truck or I leave my gun at home. I have a plan. I know where exits are. I know where my fiance is. I know where my buddies are. And since we're at a bar in this hypothetical situation, I'm relatively certain most of my buddies aren't carrying. I got some buddies that they like, no, fuck you. Like, my responsibility is my self-defense first and foremost. I can't count anybody else to have my back in this situation, right? And if they do get there, they're going to be getting there too late for me to, at that point I'll have to be digging through my wife's purse looking for a tampon to shoving a bullet hole. So sometimes your best option is to take cover and try and flank or just, get out of dodge. So I think that you have to have a range and a game plan for everything you're going to do, So there's a lot of times I got yelled at in the academy for it. And, I've done a lot more weapons-based training than I ever did before. So I usually think it was for nerds, you know what I mean?
I mean, some of it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you're not because my opinion of a lot of weapons-based environments, trained people did, I never saw them actually fucking fight.
Right.
It was always and then they go to draw, and at that point you hit a wrist lock. It's right. I want to do this live
for reals.
Yeah, I've got most of my training gear out of my car right now, but I've got a training folder. It's actually in my car right now, and
But you're a person who takes their job very seriously. You take your life very seriously. There's some people out there that I think that they don't do that.
Let's take a step back. I don't take my life very seriously at all. That's why I'm a cop. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, being safe is important.
Yeah.
But like, if I was really just into like self-defense, right? Like, I would manage to get smart enough to like make a living off computers. I'd probably, I'd probably.
There are safer lines of work.
I get that.
You know,
but you know what?
I could be out there stealing people's business off of their Google page.
That sounds like the way to go. Yeah,
Could be doing that. Right.
Until Zito gets mad and comes to your house.
Threatens to choke you to death.
Next thing you know, I'm in a basement. There's a bread ball in my mouth. I don't know what's going on.
but yeah, no, I just it makes me a little nervous when certain people that I know who walk around with guns. I think that's their go-to is like, I'm just going to pull a gun. I'm like,
I agree 100%. That's part of the reason why I'm so big into like, the Blue Jitsu thing, right?
Yeah.
Unless there's already rounds going down range or you see somebody drawing a gun. And even then it kind of depends on like how close you are to them and, your backstop and stuff like that. A gun should never be your first line of defense, right?
Fuck no.
And even like we were doing like, like our version of live sparring during the academy and, guy starts fumbling in his waistband I'm wrestling with. I slap a Kimura on him and I'm like, I was in the academy. So it's like, very like, you're going to fuck, not fucking, but like, you're going to do this, Ferguson. God damn it, recruit. Or, well, my training officer, I had two of them.
Were they drill sergeants?
They kind of think they are.
Oh, okay.
But one of them was a really cool guy. A lot of them were really cool guys. There's one I didn't like very well. But, it's nothing personal. Just kind of like, I think that our personalities wouldn't have meshed that well to begin with.
Yeah. And
then, like, on top of that, like, you take me from, just being random hill ride up in the friggin' rebar patch, tying rebar together, to all of a sudden in this, like, militaristic environment where you're not supposed to cuss, you're not supposed to dip, you're not supposed to, do all this stuff. It's just, like, a little bit too much for me. And then they would come in kind of hard sometimes. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you think's going on here.
Right.
And, like, so I think that was, like, part of my issue with her. But, like,
it was a bit of a culture clash, we might say.
Well, they're just, I think they're just used to people being a little bit, being able to kind of bully people around a little bit.
Oh, a little more compliant.
Yeah. And, like, not that, like, I wasn't ever not compliant. It was just kind of like, I'm, very much my own person. Mm-hmm. I do fucking me. Right. For better or worse is what it is. I'm sure that anybody, who knows me would say, yeah, that's Sam. He's going to be, I haven't changed since I was 14. I do the same stuff with my free time. And I go wrestle with my buddies and I go, fish and hunt.
Right.
Very little has changed about like, things I enjoy and who I am since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But where were we at before that? Oh yeah. So like he goes to start getting a gun out of his waistband. I slap a Kimura on him and I'm like thinking to myself, like, if I freaking put a Kimura on him, I'm going to get yelled at because it's not our
approved technique.
Yeah.
So
and
what
like
is the approved technique?
Some nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, so like, it was kind of one of those things that like, I mean, like there are some issues there too. Like, so he was trying to draw, out of an appendix carry, so like his gun's pointed at his dick and
Yes.
I'm so I step on the Kimura, that arm's not going anywhere, right? I've got a good Kimura game.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, like, what am I going to do here without getting yelled at? And I end up like, kind of like, so I'm playing around with the guy. His name's Danielle. He's a cool enough guy. And I start acting like I'm pulling the trigger. I'm like, I'm shooting your dick off. Like, you will create no more problems for society.
Now, just to be clear, this is what you came up with when you didn't want to get in trouble?
Well, like, during, like, the academy, like, during any of the DT situations, because, like, I stand out as, like, martial artists, right? I mean, like, at least the modern understanding of martial artists, I'm not, like...
Right, you're
walking
trained.
around, yeah. So I'm just kind of holding it there, pointing down at his dick. I'm not, ripping the arm out or anything like that. Cause I'm like trying to figure out how I'm not going to get in trouble. And what my one of the training officers said to me was, "You should have stood up and shot him." I was like, "Okay, I understand that is perfectly within the force continuum. Somebody's trying to shoot you, you need to shoot them. Yeah. I understand that.
Okay,
but in my mind, and like Larry and Paul, who are big influences on my thinking, a lot of their stuff is like, I don't want to end up in a drag race. He's already got his hands on his gun. I want to keep that gun where it is."
Right.
Yeah.
That's
a good analogy.
Yeah. So at that point, right, I disengage. I start circling towards the head, so he has to shoot me like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, you're still going to end up in a situation where he's going to pull the gun if you don't stop him.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to keep the gun there. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this without getting in trouble or hurting Daniela. And
who's Daniela?
Daniela.
Daniela. That's the
training partner with the gun.
Yeah.
Whose dick he was threatening to shoot off.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's role play, guys. It's okay.
Sorry.
And I was like, at what point is it how do you win fights, right? Like, you hit the other guy more than he hits you, and you don't get hit, right?
Right. Generally winning strategy.
Yeah, right? So, in my mind, it's like that with a gunfight, but a lot more emphasis needs to be on not getting hit.
Right.
So, at that point, right, I don't really care if, I don't want, not that I don't care, I have no desire to really shoot this guy I'm wrestling with.
Right.
All I want to do is make sure nobody else around me gets shot, and I don't get shot in that order, right? I want to make sure that, Schiff, who's coming to back me on that call late, that he doesn't get shot. Or, a little 3-year-old girl who's, outside playing and all of a sudden
bullets flying.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
so is it they're thinking that you don't know? Okay,
well, so
that you don't know what you're doing exactly, and this is what we have to do because not everyone knows jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So it's anytime people get involved in things and they try and codify it, and I understand why they do it. Everybody needs the same training, everything needs everything, but they don't take into account sometimes that some people go above and beyond, right?
Right.
There's some stuff that I'm definitely not as knowledgeable on. There's things I'm not as good at, right? We'll go off on that tangent later, but so I'll so I ended up letting go, and he was like, while you're shooting him, that was probably a high point loaded with 22s, and or that gun was so dirty it was going to jam and blow your hand up. You know what I mean? You're not a shooter. Are you a shooter?
I've handled firearms. I'm not a shooter.
So one step below me. I'm not I know guys that are shooters. I'm not a shooter, but I really enjoy shooting, and I go out and I practice a lot, and I but so have you ever seen there's a thing, the round called 300 blackout, and people put it in the wrong size gun and the gun will blow up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they're what if they'd done that, and now all of a sudden you're out of a hand? It's well, I mean, in my head I was and now that I've been out on the street more, I've pulled mags out of guns and been what the fuck is a 22 and a 45 doing in the same magazine? This is neither of these are right. This is a 9 mil.
9 mil.
I don't even know how you managed to get these all in here. What is going on? You know what I mean?
So that happens. So it's a real thing.
So it's a real thing. But either way, in my opinion,
I can't even those are not even similar sized rounds. I can't.
Yeah.
It would be mistaking a Sharpie for a pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say this is a 9 mil round. That's a 22 round.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. So they just put these bullets together.
Yeah, I mean,
just for show, basically, right? Show their friends or whatever.
I don't know.
Maybe they think the
it
gun
doesn't
just
look any different. I think they're just not very educated in firearms.
Yeah, they're just no. When you're playing online games, you just pick up all the ammo and
it'll work out. It'll work out, right?
Yeah.
So there is a threat to that, but in my opinion, right?
Hollow tip bullets still a thing? Because they were a big thing when I was younger. Yeah. I always heard hollow tip were
hollow point.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
holotip?
Yep.
That was so ironic that you asked that right after you put that down in your face.
Yeah.
So
So this is holotip. Okay.
yeah, hollow point. Yeah.
Hollow point. Sorry. What's the green on there?
Let me look at it. It's probably just like coating on the inside of it. I don't think there's just steel in it.
That's like a star looking thing, right?
Yeah. So the idea behind it is like if you shoot, I've got some ball ammo in my car too because I thought I might shoot when I go home. Is that like when this hits, bone or the body, it'll fragment out and create a bigger wound channel.
Oh, okay. That's why they have it shaped like that.
Yeah. So like,
fragments out more. Makes sense.
Yeah, just like a frag grenade.
Yeah. Neat. But those aren't piercing
No.
vests, right?
No.
What are the ones that pierce the vests?
Maybe some like steel core or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, like
Armor piercing bullets or
yeah,
something.
I don't know.
I don't think that's the official marketing term for them. But,
Yeah, I mean,
that's definitely.
I'm not a gear guy. Like
But do you wear Kevlar? Do you wear a bulletproof
yeah,
vest?
we do. It's like rated for. I can't remember what the rating is, but it's only good for handguns.
Okay.
Which is what I mean. Like I've got a plate carrier too in case I ever have to go into an active shooter situation.
A plate carrier?
Yeah. So like, just imagine like what you think of like body armor being like. It's like ceramic plates like that, and
Okay.
Right.
So
it's like rated for 308.
More than a Kevlar vest.
Yeah.
I got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If not, I'm sure we can Google this for you.
No, I know. I get it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I've got that stuff in the back of my trunk. Like I think the last time I got my freaking plate armor out was to go on a weighted run. Like,
Yeah, thankfully haven't had to use it, right?
yeah,
Of course, that's good.
Yeah. But like, I'm not a gear guy. Like I got buddies that are gear guys, but like in one of those things, like, not to talk shit to you too much,
okay.
but like the guys who have like the nicest gis,
Yeah.
they ain't out the guys out there, really shitting and getting the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whenever I was training, like, seriously, like, I was getting ready for Worlds or whatever it was, like, I didn't give a fuck what my gi was. I was just glad it was clean. Probably,
Sure. Makes sense.
For sure.
like, so, like, that's what it is. Like, you either put your time and effort into, like, worrying about having the coolest gear and, like, having the newest whatever, or you can spend your time actually,
Using it and do it.
getting fucking after it, right?
Right.
Like, I know guys that, like, don't shoot.
But have a magnificent gun collection.
Well,
don't they?
it's like they shoot, like, they go to the range, like, once a month, once every 2 months. But I go to their house, and they're like, hey, dude, come check this out. And they've got, like, freaking, like, I got a decent collection of guns. I'm above average in that nature, right? And I go in their freaking closets, like, what the fuck? Like,
small armory.
yeah, it's like, man, like,
It's like John Wick's house.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I got buddies, like, you go, like, they've got, like a 64 gun safe, and like, and it never holds what it says it does.
Sure.
Like I've got a 12 gun safe, and I don't have I can't put all my rifles in it, and I don't have 12 rifles.
Right.
But
False advertising.
What's a good gun for me to buy?
Glock 19.
For what purpose? Like,
I'm just
So-
saying, if I was to buy my first gun, what would that gun be?
Glock 19.
Glock 19.
That's what I carry off duty. So
Those,
like a
are those
Glock-
ones that they never jam and they could fire underwater? and all that?
it's jammed on me before,
Glock?
but yeah, Glocks are great.
Glocks
They're relatively cheap.
Are they small or are they big? That's pretty big.
I mean, so they've got smaller sizes too.
They do? Oh, okay.
Yeah. For me, I'm bigger than you. 19 conceals on me relatively well. I'd rather have the extra rounds. They've got, their Glock always comes out with new shit because they got to get,
Do they have like a mini version of this?
Yeah. Well, so like that's kind of the middle size. It's like 17 is what I carry on duty. 19 is what I carry off duty.
You carry a smaller one on duty?
No. So the numbers
Oh,
are backwards.
okay,
It's like
backwards.
they're kind of backwards. 34 is like the competition pistol that like ERU carries, our SWAT team. And then 17 is what us peasants carry on duty. And then, 19s and 43s are usually what people carry off duty. But like me, like whenever I play around with I think it's a 43. It's like even with the mag extender, like I got relatively large hands.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm losing it, like my pinky and like I'm like this, like
Okay. But that
Obviously
would
not a
probably be
problem
better
for me and Zito.
yeah. But
So
I mean,
Glock 43.
I think that's what it is. I'd have to double check, like. But I like.
So let me ask you: you've competed in like every martial art that has normal competitions. You hunt and fish. Do you do shooting competitions? Oh.
I really want to do a 3-gun competition.
Okay.
There's like some other stuff like
what's a 3-gun? What does that mean?
So you ever watch the video of John Wick training with the guns?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it is. So you got 3 guns. You got your AR, your shotgun, and your
Okay.
pistol. So 3-gun. I want to do that. I want to do some like
That's cool.
like practical pistol course stuff like that. But yeah, no, I haven't done it yet because like it's always a trade off between time and money for me.
right.
Yeah.
So like I don't compete like I used to, but I still last year I made it out to no-gi worlds, no-gi pans. So now like when I've got free time, when I'm not getting on the mats, not getting ready for something that way, I'm at our range training with my 17, or I go to like a range that's near the not near the academy, near our roll call that's halfway between our gym. So like it's just hard for me to find time to like really like
Gear up for another competition.
yeah, I really want to do it, but it just kind of takes time. And like the other thing too is like I fucking hunt. I love pheasants. Am I a great shot? Shooting skeet? No. So like whenever I do go to like my sportsman's range, like my wife she's like, well, I'll see you, in 5 hours because it's an hour drive there, and like that's a short day.
Right.
So it's an hour drive there, hour drive back. So there's 2 hours. Then I spend an hour, shooting skeet. Then I spend an hour or so with my handgun. And I spend an hour with my deer rifle.
Oh wow.
So it's like really like.
And that's not a cheap day either in terms of ammo costs.
So luckily department gives me all the rounds I want for my handgun.
Right.
That's
Okay.
nice.
My 308 ammo gets expensive. Shotgun shells aren't too bad.
Yeah.
You know what's shocking? You ever see the movie Desperado?
Yeah.
God, when I was younger, man, that was the baddest gun. I was like, I just want one of those little like sawed-off shotguns. But those are illegal, right? You can't have those. right?
You can't with the tax stamp if I remember right. Oh, speaking of the stupid shit that I bought that noise, I got one that's better than that. But here, show it to him too.
What the?
I bought that off of a Facebook ad. It was all pheasant like hoodies, and I got one that makes it look like my head's a pheasant head. It's the best thing ever.
Dude, it's ridiculous looking.
I've got other ones.
This is what he gets. On the Facebook ad.
100%.
Is that your
so,
like?
like,
Is that your like going to be your company logo? A pheasant?
No, this is the company logo.
There it is.
Yeah, so there's one of a dog chasing a bird getting up.
Bath and
like as much as I hate buying stuff.
Body Works is hilarious.
Yeah. So
So you got a little collection of these going. Then.
I've got 4. I've got one that makes me look like a pheasant with my head sticking out. I got that one, the one with the pheasant on top of it. And I got one of a bear being treed by hounds.
Where do you get these at?
Facebook ad.
Oh, that's your Facebook ad.
That's what got him.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
they know your jiu-jitsu algorithm.
Yeah.
They know I don't buy jiu-jitsu shit. Like if I buy,
No, it's worthless against him. Yeah.
Pheasant shit.
He's only got 4 geese.
no. So like I've only bought 4 geese. You know what I mean? And they were, but like I've gotten other geese. Like Junior used to pay me in geese sometimes because like he wasn't paying me cash at the time to like teach the kids class and the no gi class. So he'd give me gear. It was a really good deal for me.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so like, that I had people give me geese.
Right.
So wait, can I buy that shotgun from Desperado? Is that legal?
Yeah.
Oh, like you want a replica version of it?
Yeah. I'll have to pull it up.
That's
but
a real thing. That thing is so badass.
It depends on how big it is.
But you couldn't carry that with you.
I don't believe that is covered under your concealed carry. No.
I mean,
If I carry a guitar case with me everywhere,
no.
Yeah, you really have to press your draw technique off that, off that collapsible guitar. I mean,
I couldn't pull it off, huh?
I'm going to say no.
So,
Although I would love to see you try.
Okay, it's just an over under. Yeah.
That's so funny though.
So
This is Zito fulfilling a lifelong dream. Doesn't even realize it.
Desperado. That movie was great when I was younger.
I watched. I saw on Facebook a meme, and it's like AR's like weird ATF rules, but you're allowed. You can't have with like certain modification with like a actual stock and stuff like that. You're not supposed to, without having the tax stamp, a AR that's got a barrel less than like 10 inches or something like that. I don't remember what it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But you can buy an AR pistol with a forearm brace that's basically just a stock, but slightly different.
Okay.
And there's a guy, there's a picture of him on Facebook. Oh, this old guy, he's got a friggin' boot that he cut off and sewn together and was using as an AR holster, basically. And then he was walking with a cane. It's like, he needs that cane. He's carrying the entire Second Amendment on his back.
Oh, man.
I have not. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I have not seen that particular
Yeah, but I'm just
one.
saying, man, like, hey, man, where there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
We can get this squared away for you.
Oh, man. So you're in town for how long?
Oh, fuck.
Couple more hours.
Oh, so you're heading back?
Yeah, man.
How long was the drive?
To Lexington?
Yeah.
Well, from my house, it's closer to 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like 6 hours with me getting after it. Yeah, I mean, it's probably supposed to be closer to like 6.5, 7.
Okay.
We check it on Google, and it's like 11 hours.
Getting after it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, so like me, like, I drive at night, right? Like, I'm second, and I, beat staff third shift all the time. So, like, almost like my prime operating hours are the opposite of everybody else from, like,
Right.
Like, I start work at 4 p.m., but, like, like, you really don't, like, start getting after it because you want to make sure you get your, your beat squared away till, like, 9. And then 10 o'clock, third shift comes out.
Right.
So, like, my peak operating hours are basically from, like, 10 to 1, as far as, like, me being, like, geared up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Right.
What kind of cars you guys drive?
We got Tauruses. We're
Taurus?
switching. Yeah. We're switching over to SUVs here in a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think maybe Tahoes.
Oh, okay. No Chargers, huh?
That's what KSP drives, Kentucky State Police. But
Oh, okay.
supposedly I haven't been getting the best reviews as far as longevity. But I mean,
Oh, really?
it's one of those things. Like, I'm not a gear guy. I know a lieutenant parrots back to me, and I parrot. I'm just like, well, if LT says it, and it makes sense to me, because Dodges, in my opinion, don't have a great reputation.
No. SUVs make sense for cop cars. SUVs as opposed to just like, I don't know.
I guess.
Do you like rather be in an SUV than a Taurus?
Yeah. I mean,
I like to be high up. That's just me.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Yeah. But in general, doesn't everyone like to be high up? Or am I the only
No,
one?
not necessarily.
Really? You like to be low to the ground?
No, so
Okay, hold on. You seen the kind of car I drive?
I do.
You seen the kind of car you drive?
Yes.
Do you think I like to be high up when I'm driving?
Well, I just think you're more economical than I am.
That's definitely true.
Okay.
I drive vehicles that fit inside his vehicles.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I saw that Jeep out there. I like it.
It's everyone loves that vehicle. I couldn't imagine driving it
So the
as a
issue
daily
with me,
driver.
with me and Jeeps, like my wife, my fiance, she wants to get another Jeep. She had a little like dune buggy type Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a cool car. But we traded in and we bought my truck. And for me, it's like I have no real desire to have it. I want everything to be like, functional. Like, I'm not going to use that as a daily driver. I'm not, what I mean? It's like, my truck will get me anywhere I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatively, like, it's a Z71, 1500. So,
It's still a big truck.
yeah, I mean, I drove a Colorado before that. I just like having a bed to throw sneaky geese in and,
Right. I mean, you've got a lot of practical purpose for that, though.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
and like,
you got a lot of gear carrying around.
I put my kayaks in there.
Right.
You go kayaking?
Wow.
Look at how excited he got there.
That's cool.
He doesn't
So-
give a shit about your jiu-jitsu, but look at him light up at the mention of
I never heard
kayaking.
anyone do kayaking.
So I'm not a whitewater guy.
Oh, okay.
Like, I fish out of my kayak.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I never
I had
heard
a-
of that.
Yeah.
I I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but I have this strange obsession with this utterly stupid and kind of expensive thing that I saw one time at
Is it a pedal kayak?
No. I saw it, I think, at the first time at REI, but it might have been Bass Pro Shop. I can't remember where I ran into it first time. But I desperately want this, and my wife is like, if you get that, you will never fucking use it. You can't have it type situation. I'm like, but I want it.
Prove her wrong.
It's so tempting. It's a fold up kayak, like
to a suitcase type thing.
Yeah,
No,
That's pretty cool.
It's bigger than like a suitcase. So it's this plastic kayak, and it like folds up, and it's like held together by bands. It's one like continuous piece, and yeah, this is very difficult for me to explain. I'll show you a picture of it here. But yeah, I'm like,
well, what's the weight character like weight on? Like, I mean, it's going to be a big issue for me, but like for me, like my kayak that got stole.
Mm-hmm.
Someone stole your kayak.
One of them, yeah.
How?
Because I lived in an apartment at the time, so I just left it out.
Had it out. Okay.
Yeah, because like it was $500 kayak, and they were wanting to charge me $75 a month to store it somewhere.
Okay.
And it was like, well, fuck. You know what I mean? Like 5 months is almost done, but that kayak was awesome. Like it was a sit on top. It was a sit on top, and you know, I could stand on it and fish. My dog could sit in the front.
Oh, it was pretty big.
It was a 12-footer. You know, 12-footer was real wide.
Yeah.
But like, best kayak ever. Huh. But yeah, send 12.
So yeah, I just had this image of me buying this damn thing and like throwing it in my trunk, and then anytime I wanted to go out to like the forest preserve or something, boom, right there.
No. Tell her straight up. Be like, look,
honey,
it's
you
either
listen
this
to
or
this
I need a 1500.
And you think she'll be swayed by the practicality of that?
There you go.
Do you know how much a new truck payment is, honey?
So here, let me show you guys real quick. Obviously, this is terrible for our listening audience. But yeah, so this particular one that I'm familiar with, I don't know if they've made other models. It's called an Oru, O-R-U, and it's a folding kayak. And here's what it looks like when it's fully deployed. But see that box next to it?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when it's folded up.
Okay.
So yeah, and like overall, like you don't need any specialized tools or anything because it's all like bands that snap into place and whatnot. So it's just like literally take
How
it
much
anywhere.
is that thing?
This one is
Jesus.
that much money's.
What the fuck? Yeah, if I was your wife, I'd be like, no, fuck you.
So
that's ridiculous.
They had these nice pedal kayaks that
Get
are
a one wheel, dude.
What would I do with that?
Exactly. I don't know. I ride mine. I enjoy it.
In the office here,
I do ride
Did
in
you
the
actually
office.
have you taken it out?
Oh yeah, I take it out.
Okay, yeah.
So-
So, sorry. I actually wanted to talk to you about this. You're probably going to offer me terrible advice, so I don't even know why I bring it up. But so I both one of the schools that I train at daily is like 10 minutes from my house by car, and my office is like 10 minutes from my house by car. Like everything's super conveniently located in that regard. So I was sitting there, I was thinking, I'm like, man, I got very, very fuel economic cars. All the cars in the house are small.
Yeah.
You know, get 34 plus miles to the gallon. But I could save even more money if I got myself either an electric bike or scooter or skateboard.
Yeah.
That could get me zipping around town. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to add too much travel time, but I'm also not like, it's all side streets and local and whatnot. So it's like, I don't think I ever get above 40 miles per hour, maybe going to work or going to the gym. Yeah. So I was like, I wonder if that would be practical. Obviously not year round because, you know, Chicago weather being what it is.
Right.
But I wonder if it would be practical and how that would work out in terms of fuel economy. You know, savings. Like, how long would it take for me not driving my car to the gym and to the office on a daily basis
to spend $1,500 on something?
Yeah. How fast does that thing go? That's only 20 something, right?
I've gone.
I know that's really fast.
I've gone 16 miles an hour. I couldn't get faster than that.
You couldn't get you didn't feel comfortable.
No,
or?
I couldn't go faster.
Oh, okay,
than that.
okay. So that one
it says it goes 22 miles an hour. But
maybe that's for like, you know, 8-year-old kids that are like 50 pounds.
No,
for once you're too heavy.
The problem I'm having though, because you know it's a one wheel, so the wind resistance is hitting you. So as you're going faster, the harder the wind hits you, and it slows you down because you're on a one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't force myself to go faster because I'm getting pushed back. So, and I took it on the strip back here, and I just tried to open it up, and 16 miles an hour. That was it. Because of the
Interesting.
and now maybe on a, I don't know if the air was less
Exceptionally,
humid
You got
or
to get the wind behind you.
wind behind you, maybe, but
Right.
you're going against
Downhill.
the wind regardless.
He's got his like flying squirrel suit on.
Yeah, he's got the gi open.
Downhill would probably be faster, but yeah, I haven't gone faster than 16 on that. And
Okay.
16 on that is still
Scary fast,
fucking
kinda?
scary, dude.
Yeah.
It's scary because
Yeah, I probably don't want to go 45 miles per hour on a skateboard. Don't get me
Fuck no,
wrong,
dude.
but I was
No.
thinking like maybe an electric bike might be the option.
electric bike or a 2-cycle scooter would be fine. Like my Vespa out there, that's 2-cycle, dude.
I almost would rather have like a Razor scooter.
Why, dude? I
don't know.
I love my Vespa, dude. That thing is badass.
I don't know. It's not,
It sounds like, are you
it's
sure
not my
about that?
personal aesthetic.
Maybe because I have a Harley that I don't give a shit when anyone thinks about the Vespa.
That's
that could be it
That's
too.
a fair statement, I suppose.
Just get on the Vespa, get on your Harley.
Zito has his very Italian moments every once in a while.
The Vespa's cool.
The
driving a
Vespa is very Italian.
Yeah, yeah.
And that Vespa is stick, so it's clutch.
Really?
Yeah. So you can't be no.
The
you can't
most
just-
badass Vespa possible.
fucking
Yeah, right,
badass,
right.
dude.
As it goes. Do you I can't believe I'm asking this. I can't believe this is the direction the conversation has gone. Looking back where we started. But
What's that?
Do you have to do the fuel oil mix on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that seems like a pain in the
2-cycle.
ass.
No, you buy it pre-mixed.
Oh, okay.
You just buy the.
And how often do you have to fill that up? Like once every 7 years?
No.
I mean, it lives over there, doesn't it? It
does
almost
live
never
there.
gets used.
Yeah, I don't drive it too often. No, but it's all ready to go whenever I want to go.
Right. Just want to jump on and take
Yeah,
a ride.
but-
Should probably demonstrate that for
There you
us
go.
here.
I could
It's a
Sam
nice
on
day.
6'2".
That would
on a
look
little ass
ridiculous. Look like some scene out of Harry and the Hendersons.
bike. Yeah, right. Even on my other bike would look ridiculous.
So you know those like little smart cars.
Yeah. They look like a goddamn penny racer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, my dad is the run of his family at. Well, he's lost weight now, but he was 6'2", 6'3", 240.
Okay. The
And
runt.
The runt.
What's the rest of the size of the family?
6'6", 300, 6'5", 290, 280.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, like, like, absolute, I mean, like,
Absolute unit? Were you about to say
yeah,
absolute
like,
unit?
yeah, but like, my uncle got in one of those smart cars, and like,
no.
Knees up to his chin?
so like, he had his chin hanging out the sunroof. It was hilarious.
Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah, no, those are definitely made for people more my size.
Yeah.
Undeniably so.
Those are-
But see that car is just a little too tiny for me, and I haven't driven one, so I guess I don't have a fair statement here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I'd like the way they drive. Like I need something a little bigger than that.
I
Yeah,
owned a Mini Cooper. The Mini Cooper, I liked it.
How
It was
many?
like a little-
Oh, you had it? I was like, how many?
I got rid of it. Yeah.
I was like, man, you got so many daggone toys.
I have.
Well, that
had
is
a lot
true.
of toys.
That
I
is
do.
true,
I
but-
have. I'm trying to downsize, but the Mini Cooper was just fun little zip around.
See, when we drove the Mini Cooper, I didn't really like the way it handled, the way it rode compared to my Fiesta or my Focus.
No, it's definitely a stiffer ride.
Yeah. So
For sure.
I don't know. I'm thinking about looking. We're looking at a new car, so
Why?
because that one's okay. Like
The green
Fiesta,
one or the red one?
okay, sorry, that's right. I drove the red one here today.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the Fiesta is got 300,000 miles on it or whatever. You know, like it's just had a lot of wear and tear.
See, the only problem with like buying like electric anything is the weather here in Chicago. That's the only downside. You're never gonna like we've had a good week this week, where you can ride,
Yeah.
but we've had so much rain. You just never know. So
Yeah, that's
if you spend the $1,500 on whatever you're gonna buy, you might be able to use it once or twice a week.
Or I might
maybe
be able to
more.
use it.
Again, maybe you could use it more than some.
That's
days
kind of
you-
the thing that's holding me off on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
If we
know.
were in California,
it was a
fuck
thought.
yeah, you'd be like all day long, California. But now you got those little scooters. They're not out in your neighborhood yet.
No, I'm in the burbs, man. We don't have Lime scooters in the burbs.
Just take one from downtown and bring it out there.
I'm pretty sure that's where the GPS goes off. It's like, well, you've removed me from my overall habitat. We're coming hunting.
Is that how
for
they
you.
do it? They come pick it up if
the-
you were
the
to
lime
take it. Yeah, the lime scooter.
Yeah. So all of those have like a GPS
Yes.
tracker in them, and
Are you sure that you don't just have to keep paying? 'Cause I'm sure as long as you're paying, they'll let you keep it.
Yeah,
no,
right?
because you only pay while you ride. So if I literally pick it up and it's not being used in any way, like it's not charging you anything.
Okay.
Well,
like-
I don't understand. Do they have to go around and pick them
Collecting
all
them,
up?
yes.
So we have
and then charge
something
them
similar
all?
with like pedal bikes in Lexington.
Okay.
It's terrible. They just litter all over the place.
Yeah.
Homeless people will like buy one for 15 minutes and find some kid left their bike and steal their bike. And
Yeah.
It seems like so. We actually like. I had not experienced it at all until we went down to St. Louis for Combat Wrestling Worlds last year, and we were in downtown St. Louis, and there's these little green scooters everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And my son like just went apeshit. He's like, I gotta play on that, and like we all had a good time on it. Okay, like it was fun.
It's by the minute, right? They charge you by
Yeah,
the minute.
yeah. So
Like
like
5
you
cents a minute or
download an
something like that?
app, and the app shows you based on the GPS where a bike or a scooter is,
Right.
and then it also like tells you like the charge level in it. If it doesn't have enough charge, it won't let you pay to ride it because and then like they have to go around collecting them
Yeah.
at the end of the night to set it up to.
They do every night. They collect all of them. No.
Well, I don't know if they get all of them, but yeah, like they go around and
A
collect
lot.
them to bring them to the charging centers. Which, by the way, we happened to drive by one of the charging centers one time. I'm like, look, it's where all the little scooters go.
Really?
Yeah, it was real weird because it was a just giant open air warehouse with just lines and lines and lines and lines of scooters and cords running everywhere.
What a crazy business that
Yeah,
is.
well, that's just it. Like, so the idea is that a little bit fun, and it's a good way to move people around in heavily populated areas where you don't necessarily need a car to get from like Starbucks to the museum or
Right.
whatever the
No,
fuck.
I'm on board with
so
that.
like it seems like a really good idea in that regard. The problem because I was like, oh, this is cool, and now it's coming to Chicago, so I started researching it a little bit, and like the problem is that. Well, there's a lot of bad vandalism issues where people are just like, I'm going to take this scooter. I'm not paying anything for it. I just picked it up and I'm going to go throw it in that lake for no good reason, just to be a fucking punk ass.
Right.
Okay. So that ruins the scooter, which as we were just looking, the prices on these things are like, $1,500 or whatever.
Right.
So like it's easily possible that the company buys a scooter. Let's say it costs $2,000. Okay.
I think they're like $400 or $500 those scooters.
Yeah. Well, okay, fine. Let's say it's $500, whatever it is, and like day one, it gets taken and racked.
Right.
So there's like some weird economics where they're like, how many rides does a scooter have to provide before it actually pays for itself without breaking down or needing a battery replacement?
Right.
And it's obscene, and nobody knows how these companies could possibly be making money.
it sure isn't a government funded thing because that seems to be the case for these things.
Yeah, there may be some.
I'm
stuff
willing
that
to bet that's what it is.
that there's enough discount or whatever from the government.
Well, pork barrel somewhere.
Right. That wouldn't surprise me actually because there's multiple companies doing this now.
Yeah.
Like the first one I heard about was Lime, but there's like 2 or 3 here in Chicago now.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Which is annoying.
Maybe something the government should be doing.
I'm deleting
possibly.
apps. Like every day I try to delete an app off my phone.
That's a crazy statement to me, but okay.
I don't
How
want
many
them.
apps do you have?
Not a lot. But I'm trying to like
Not a lot now.
Right.
Get 65.
basically I just want I want to delete a lot of apps. So I just like if I don't use it, I'm just gonna delete it. So I try to remove eventually I'm gonna just have one screen of apps.
Hold
That
on, let
one
me see your phone
sucks.
there. Don't you fucking bullshit me telling me you don't have a lot of apps.
I don't have a lot.
Well, what's a lot?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe I have a poor definition here, but you have just on your main page here. You have a secondary page, tertiary page?
No,
okay.
just the main
Just
page.
on your main page here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 folders, each of which have
Apps in 'em.
9 apps in them.
Yeah. I know. That's bad.
Do the math.
Yeah.
That's-
There's silly ones too. Not all
sure.
of us. Like heart rate one, I like that one.
Well, I mean, some of that comes pre-installed, doesn't it?
No, that one doesn't get pre-installed. But like all the Apple ones, I just don't want any of them. But I don't have any like the shopping ones. I've got like eBay, but I don't ever use it. I've got like Cash App. I have no idea why.
Because Joe Rogan told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Probably why.
That's a fair statement. You probably got some Bitcoin when you first signed up for it. And you probably don't even know how to spend.
I don't have any, but Coinbase, I got
Cocaine.
a Coinbase. Kurt gave me that one.
That's right. He did transfer that on air, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I've never used it since. So
Well, you're not helping the cryptocurrency economy in the slightest there, sir.
No. But yeah, so I'd want to just start getting, but like I never watched the UFC on my phone, but yeah, I still have the app downloaded.
Right, yeah, that seems pretty silly.
Flow Sports I have downloaded, you know.
Do you watch Flow Grappling on your phone?
Sometimes
Okay.
but I usually have my iPad with me.
See, that's the thing. There's a lot of stuff that I personally switched over to, like, I only really use this on my tablet.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's silly to have it on the phone.
Right.
But yeah, anyway.
But yeah, your definition of not a
But
lot
I
of
would
apps,
not-
I thought I was going to pick up that phone and be like,
But now because the scooters, there's so many, you have to download an app for every one of them.
Yeah, I guess
'Cause they all
that's
have
true.
their own apps. It seems
but
kind of
maybe
silly.
one day somebody will come along
Yeah.
and they'll create the unified scooter app where they can charge other scooter services,
Yes. Someone will do that. That's
bringing
for
it
sure.
back around.
Maybe Grubhub will do it.
Scooter Hub.
All right, dude. I think we've been going for like 3 hours.
We're
And
getting
we talked almost no jiu-jitsu.
We talked jujitsu.
We did. I
Talked
just
about it.
relative.
No, how much just we really talk? We talked a little bit about like near calls with police stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some competition stuff, right?
I don't think we did.
We know that you like IBJJF.
I actually have a talking point that one of your buddies asked me to ask about, and I was going to try to bring it up more
Do we even know
organically,
what,
but
I don't even know
we
what
didn't.
rank. Are you a black belt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
See, I knew that.
I did not know that. I didn't want to, assume he was a black. I assumed he was a black belt, but I just didn't.
He didn't want to assume your rank, sir. How dare you assume my rank?
When did you get your black belt?
Last December.
Oh, awesome. It's fucking
But yeah,
fantastic.
so make sure I get this one right. So you compete a fair amount,
Yeah,
or did compete a fair amount?
so like in my mind, an active competitor is 10 to 12 competitions a year.
That's fair.
Oh, that's
So
active.
you're not an active competitor anymore, are you saying? Or
I make it out to the two major ones I care about.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your special pre-comp meal?
Oh, biscuits and gravy, 100%.
I love that you said that, but that was not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, no, Bender.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
who do you think set me up on that one?
Okay. Yeah, I was trying.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's amazing.
that's awesome. Like a full meal
Oh, biscuits and gravy, eggs, extra sausage.
before you go to compete.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Has it always been that way?
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, like, it was different when I was fighting MMA because you were, cutting weight and you're
Cutting more weight. Yeah.
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 But yeah, even in wrestling, like if there was biscuits and gravy around, I would make sure I ate it.
That's awesome. I can't eat before competition.
I generally don't like to eat before competition either.
Like,
No, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to be.
honestly, I think it's
I don't
one
want
of
to
things
be
like
weakened, but I don't want to be.
So
feeling
I
full.
think there's like one thing like I'm so like blue collar and like hill ride that like what you do in the mornings you wake up you eat what I mean like
Yeah,
I
nice
don't do
full
it-
breakfast.
I don't do it as much anymore now because I'm always running late
Yeah.
and I now live an hour from my gym basically and so like and also now I've gotten bigger into coffee than I was before but it's always like you go you eat a full breakfast you get in your truck you go to work and you start working and there's no like oh, I got a hard day's work. Maybe I shouldn't have as big a breakfast. It's like, no, like, I'm going to freaking eat a breakfast so I've got enough energy to freaking wheelbarrow those rocks all day.
Right.
And then when it comes lunch, eat as much lunch as you can given the heat.
I do miss biscuits and gravy.
Are you some kind of paleo or did you start becoming, you're Jewish, right?
Partially.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, did you become more practicing or what?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's just I do a low carb diet. So
Because he used to be like 400 pounds.
I was never 400 pounds.
380. One Nevinger.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
How terrible would that be? Being oh my
No,
God.
so, like, I mean, like, you still probably do, like, almond flour in there. I mean,
okay, granted, there's probably a way that
I'm
we
just
can
saying,
come up with a
don't let anything stand between you and biscuits and gravy.
right. Well,
Is there a certain like? Do you make your own? I don't think I've ever eaten biscuits and gravy.
So, funny story. I was...
yeah, right. Crazy, right? I don't think so.
So that is fucked up.
yeah.
But
so
so,
sorry.
I was you know.
But where do you buy biscuits and gravy?
Bob Evans.
There you go. There's a Bob Evans out here.
Not
I think
nearby.
they're still
Not
alive.
nearby.
I don't know.
Shit, I don't.
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel would be an
Waffle
option.
House.
No, never been.
Listen, I'm not going to recommend Cracker Barrel as your first ever.
No, so,
biscuits and
so
gravy.
I think they do more of like a ham-based gravy, and they put like liquid smoke in it and bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So where do you get a good biscuits and gravy?
Well, you go up to your mom.
Lexington, Kentucky, sir.
No, so like a lot of the like, I haven't really found a place I really like their biscuits and gravy in Lexington yet.
Okay.
There's a place that's not bad up here. It's a Greek place, kind of off Harlem.
Everywhere around here is a Greek place. You
Oh
haven't narrowed it
I'm
down
sorry.
much.
Athena's Breakfast or something like that, maybe.
Okay.
Harlem and
We'll ask Pete.
It's either Austin and the next road south
Central?
of 290.
Central.
It's like between Austin and Harlem.
Oh, between Austin and Harlem.
Yeah. But like the next Roosevelt probably.
Okay.
Yeah. They got decent biscuits and gravy. No, I mean it ain't too hard. You just fry up a bunch of sausage and leave the grease in. My sister pours the milk in first. I mean, my sister puts the flour directly into the grease and does it like that. I just put the milk in and then do it like that.
Yeah. Whisk it up. It's good stuff. I
Is
miss
it?
it. Yeah. Yeah. I
Interesting.
miss. I mean, it's not that I don't love carbs. I do, and I miss it probably more at breakfast time than any other time.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause I
like-
miss grits. I miss Texas toast.
So, grits are okay, but I didn't get into grits till I found beer cheese grits down in Kentucky.
Okay, what's that? I've not experienced that.
You need to. You all
Okay,
come
what
down
is-
to Kentucky.
What is it?
So like you had cheesy grits.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Just
melted
imagine that.
cheese basically. And
Yeah,
grits.
but it's like beer cheese is like imagine like cheese dip,
Okay.
but it's just a little bit like a lot of times it's spicier and stuff like that. It's really good.
That does sound tasty.
Yeah, no.
I would give that a try. So we'll have to. We'll head on down to Kentucky. We'll do some local Kentucky tournament. I'll go
Hey,
on a cheat day.
IBJJF goes to Kentucky.
No, they only go to Ohio. I mean, jiu-jitsu's not that. I mean, it's big, but it's not huge, and
I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, there's a
they
fucking
go to
tournament
Ohio.
everywhere.
So
Ohio's the closest
Yeah, so
one
like
to you.
whenever guys they want to compete IBJJF, which not a lot of guys do, they go up to Ohio. Fuji comes through. Compete at Fuji. Fuji's a great tournament, ran by a great guy.
Yep.
At least the ones in Kentucky are Tim Northland.
Tim, yeah.
Yeah, he trains over at Peplo's.
Yeah, he and I had a conversation when they were here in Chicago at Harper College.
Yeah.
So
Great guy.
yeah, real nice.
Damn.
So
Oh, I gotta try some biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
like right now, you getting hungry?
No, not right this second. But I tried
think
some
what else.
acai earlier.
Did you eat it in the manner that enrages Paul?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. My new technique, though.
Oh God.
What do you do?
So I eat acai. So I eat acai every day. And what I used to do was take the acai, right? Take the acai from my freezer there, run it under hot water. I'd crack the acai on the side of the sink, and then pour it in,
And you make
dump
like
it in my bowl. And it was like chunks of acai.
yeah, I get
not
you.
blended.
I've had the
Right.
Yeah.
The frozen.
So
Yeah, then-
now I'm like, man, this really sucks cracking it. And
Are you just putting it in a blender?
No, I don't have a blender here at the office. So what I did was
all the shit he does have here.
I expect him to put like 5 NutriBullets.
No, I try to keep things really simple. So I run under hot water, but now I'm like, why didn't I think of this earlier? I just use a hammer, and I'll fucking hammer the shit out of the fucking package. It pretty much makes it like a fucking, like I use a blender because it just cracks it all and makes it all small and mushy. And it's beautiful. No need for a blender. You got a fucking hammer. It's great. So I have a little hammer. I just tap it, put it in the bowl, granola, cacao, almond butter, done.
That was not the way that story was going to play out in my head at
So-
all.
That's what it is.
me and Bender, we're going to compete at Illinois State Judo Tournament. Whenever we were still training under Andre Campos, and I drive because Bender doesn't drive. We go out there and I get a country fried steak and biscuits and gravy, and I get Bender the same thing. He's like, "All right, well, we're gonna do this now." So like. It's kind of like an inside joke, and like my Instagram handle is at GravyRooster215.
Okay.
Jesus.
So how'd that work out for him?
I don't remember how. I think Vagner did okay. I don't think he won, though.
He didn't toss his cookies, though, did he?
No. That's a myth.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah. Just like stretching.
I don't know about that stretching thing.
I forgot I'm not Facebook friends with either of y'all.
No.
Oh, but stretching's another one of my pet peeves.
Is it really?
So let's hear this. Just like you don't like to stretch at all?
No, I'm not like, I'll stretch, but and it really wasn't like a big deal for me till I started lifting weights over at Conviction, back when Conviction was a thing. Mm-hmm. And I would get there, and these friggin' asshats would show up in their friggin' like leotards, like, oh, look at me, I'm gonna be a Olympic lifter, rah, rah, CrossFit, yeah. And and then they spend an hour and a half doing all these like mobility exercises. Uh-huh. Do 3 sets and go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck are you getting mobile for? You know what I mean? Like, you don't do that. Like, it's just complete like waste of time in my mind. Like, like if you have mobility issues, do it before the gym. If you're gonna do it before jiu-jitsu, I don't want to waste my practice time with all of us taking a half hour to stretch and get loose. We've got an hour to 2 hours, depending on what it is, that I have people that want to do the same thing. I'm not going to waste my time doing something that I can do by myself when I got people there.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, in our classes, we do like a warm up, like run
see,
around,
I don't even like that.
You don't even like that?
No,
Oh,
fuck it.
I gotta do that.
Like I don't warm up. I don't do anything.
Really?
No.
I don't either.
You don't, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck
do you feel like
that.
you're really losing anything by not like breaking a sweat? Like I got guys like to warm. Colin likes to warm up. Like Colin will get like almost a full match wrestling in before he takes his first match.
Before competition, I feel like just a very light.
I'll hop around a
yeah,
little bit.
get a sweat a bit.
Yeah, I'll hop around. That's about it
yeah.
for competition. But when I'm
Well, so
doing
like,
class, I have to
so
warm
why
up.
would you change it for competition from class? I want everything to be the same for me from
Right.
point A to point B, whatever the C
Yeah,
destination
well-
is. So I want to be like in my mind, I don't want to ever like have in my head that I need to stretch, I need to do this, I need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like roll out of bed, put on my duty belt, put on my black belt, whatever it is, and just know like I'm fucking ready to kick some ass right now.
Agree. However, I like to warm up because I like the exercise of just getting my heart rate up and getting my thing going. Because that's
So like
just a
in my
routine
mind,
for
that's an
me.
entirely different thing.
Yeah.
I lift weights, I run a little bit,
Yeah.
but like
because I like to start sweating. I just want to get all in the workout. I just want to go and
Yeah.
But when I go, because we have open mat on Saturdays, I don't do that prior to rolling for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll stretch my back out a little bit and then I'll just start rolling and then I'll warm up from the roll.
Yeah,
But,
see,
I won't do that prior to that.
the one thing
it's the
is,
same thing in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
you don't
Usually-
need it. It's a waste of your fucking time. Like, we only have, we're gonna
An
work.
hour, yeah.
Well, like we're gonna work, like of your whole life, right? You're gonna work at least 10 hours a day, probably, right? Between commute and whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Like for me, it's a little bit longer because I work a 10-hour shift. So that's 12 hours of my day that's blocked away.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of my other activities, I need to have somebody there to do with me. I can shoot by myself, I can lift by myself. But whenever I'm doing jiu-jitsu, I don't want to lose a split second of that time that I could be drilling or doing something I need a partner for. I can't, drill arm bars by myself. I don't have the, fancy dummy.
Right.
Like if you want to, like if you feel tight, go easy the first round maybe, or get a solid workout in drilling.
Right. Makes sense.
I just, like the other thing too that I always tell people is like, you never see a lion stretch sport takes on a gazelle. Like, fuck it, right? Like at the end of the day, right? We're animals. We're no different than a lion, hypothetically speaking, in this metaphor, right? Like we just need to be able to go.
Right.
no, I appreciate that. I think the big thing for me, the reason why I actually do warm up a little bit, and it's nothing too extensive. Like I'll have a guy like
Shake your neck out.
yeah, shake my neck out, or I'll grab a buddy and be like, hey, just hold me down for a little bit here. I just want to move around a little bit, because like in the gym, if I feel like I need to like we're gonna do some technique, or we'll do some drilling or something like that, and then if for whatever reason I don't feel good to go, I can take it light the first round. But when it's out in comp, it's like, oh no, I got to be ready to hit it at 100 miles per hour.
I mean,
So-
it backfired against sprigs, but
But that just that one time.
yeah, but like, usually like it's not a big difference. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you're gonna do a fight to win or no?
I don't know. I might. There's one coming through Evansville, Indiana, which ain't too far.
Okay.
I don't know. I might. I don't like the rule set. I don't like sub only.
Okay.
So like I feel like
Go ahead.
you're looking at me funny, but like every fucking match is sub only. The difference is the tiebreaker,
It's a fair statement.
Fair.
right?
Right.
And so like the other thing too is I don't like the judging criteria for
For who?
for fight to win.
Right.
Like you remember that match Salzbuggy had against what's his face from 10th Planet?
Yep.
Freaking Salzbuggy almost took the goddamn stage down with him.
Yeah.
But somehow he won because he went for a shitty armbar that had no chance of working. Like, what is that judgment criteria there? Like, no, right? Like, so things should be like, in my mind, like, should go back to the combative roots of grappling. If I fucking throw you that hard, that's got to be worth more than your shitty armbar attempt.
Right.
Like, that's a fight ender, possibly a life ender. I had a buddy freaking serve a year for getting in a bar fight and throwing a guy through a table. I mean, like you know, he like
Right.
people high crouch threw him over his head,
Yeah.
and guy hit his head, and he was in ICU for 6 months.
That seems to be that's a huge debate, and that's a debate even in the MMA scene where it's like, you know, you got a guy who gets cracked in the early round, you know, maybe
If you're about to bring up Frankie Edgar again,
I'm not. I'm just saying that. I'm just
So
saying
Gray Maynard,
who gets cracked in the early round, but then he ends up on top in the last 15 seconds. The judge look at it. Well, he was on top last 15 seconds.
Yeah,
that
that's-
earlier didn't matter.
that's tricky.
yeah. So
It's tricky,
it
right?
is.
How do you
So,
judge a fight like that?
I mean, like it's hard
Because remember, Pride was like the third round mattered the most. Who ended up
Yeah.
as opposed to that first?
No,
yeah,
I mean, there's some stuff I liked about Pride.
yeah,
I think the longer rounds help the grapplers.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's hard to submit somebody in 5 minutes when you got to spend a minute circling around trying not to get punched in the face.
Right,
Right.
Yeah, I like the 10-minute.
I think that round should still be scored for the guy with a knockdown if it was a true knockdown. So, like in my mind, when I go through it, it's damage done, time control in the fight.
Okay.
So, you know, Zito here, you know, I crack him one good one, right? He wobbles. I get like 3 or 4 more punches in. Then he takes me down and controls me for the next 4.5 minutes.
Right.
In my mind, that round should be basically 10-10 because you controlled, you know, 90% of that fight.
Right.
But at the same time,
You got
I came pretty close to
damage.
fucking you up.
Right. The damage was done.
Yeah, you know, and then like,
So it's damage versus control, right?
yeah, because I mean, like, you know, but even that, I think like you have to take things into like levels of control. Like you remember that friggin' barn burner of a match, Randy Couture versus Brandon Vera,
Yeah, that's a long time ago, but yeah.
classic wall and stall.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
But like, you know, octagon control. Like Randy was definitely controlling the octagon.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think like a wall install should not be worth the same as me holding you in side control for 3 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's. I don't know. It's a rough criteria because like if you're not actually using the position to inflict damage through submission or strikes.
Well,
you know,
I also like the thing too is like I would even say that like submissions that like I mean like make you do more than you know what I mean, like if you can tell that like that arm is now fucked.
Like John Jones versus Vitor.
Yeah.
That arm was fucked.
Yeah, like you know, like congratulations, you threw a hell of a punch, but it didn't land. It ain't worth any more than any other punches you threw that didn't land.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. You know.
That's when
So-
technology is going to start taking over.
Oh God,
there.
here we go again.
I'm
So
just saying.
I've heard you talk about this on the podcast before, and here's my idea to make things interesting.
Okay.
let's go back to like the actual combatives roots of, MMA. Like, MMA is combative. Mm-hmm. Fuck it. Like, minute 3, nothing's happening. Throw a fucking shock knife in the middle. Like, have you ever played around with the shock knife?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, they're fun, man.
Yeah.
And it makes you aware of what's going on. Granted, of course, like I think that a lot of MMA fighters would tough through it a lot more than like people would because like they're just, tougher and
Yeah.
Right.
But
It definitely changes the dynamic immediately.
I mean, like, because getting shocked with those things, it stings.
We did get a serious warning when we were first using them, though, that like you're not supposed to put it anywhere near the head. So I mean,
like
you're not supposed to shock the dude above the neck.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like
I don't.
So I think that like subconsciously humans we tend to stab more towards the body, same way we shoot more towards the body.
Right.
That's where your vital organs are. That's where you're gonna fuck shit up. So I don't know how much it would change. With it being a shock knife, but like I don't know a lot of people have been. Most people I know who have been stabbed or cut in a knife altercation has either been torso or arms, hands.
Right. When you're defending him more than off.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You go to grab them, they stab you.
Right.
I don't know, but I mean, like
I would like to. I would like to go on record. Let's make this official. I would love to see an event with that kind of rules. I don't know that it would catch out mainstream at all, but I'd love to see that.
It's probably already happening in Russia. We just don't know about
Well,
it.
that's true. That's fair. That's fair.
But it's probably actual knives they're using there, man. You usually see that like medieval combat.
Yeah.
Those freaking knuckleheads. So like, I can understand like things like the gi, right? It's the sentimental, more or less anachronistic thing. Mm-hmm. The stupidity of all. Like
actual full armor, sword and shield.
All right, like I'm sure it'd be fun, but like, all right, we're all gonna freaking dress up in our LARP suits, but we're gonna play for real.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. I mean, younger Sam would definitely would have wanted to do it.
It's like I want to hit a guy with a dull sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See what happens.
I could see myself getting talked into that at some point.
Yeah, I have no part of that. No, thank you. I don't like dressing up. No, I like wearing the gi.
I don't like dressing up. I've got 50 different gis.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear my showy little collection?
Shit.
Yeah, I don't.
You love dressing up.
I don't.
You just
like
have a very particular style of dress up that you like to
I
play.
don't think I could imagine myself doing a whole.
Javi likes his raccoon suit. You like
He
your
does
gis.
like his raccoon suit. Yes.
It's a raccoon cap, guys. It's just a cap.
Yeah, I don't know. LARPing is a strange thing.
It's fun if you've ever done it. Like I had a friend whose older brother LARPed, and we would beat the shit out of each other with those foam swords. It was fun. I mean, we were in like third or fourth grade, but
Right. Yeah. Maybe when you're younger.
I mean, I
got a feeling
30,
right now.
40-year-old men that are.
Yeah, if you were to put like a LARP sword here right now,
we would have to whack each other with it.
It would be like literally like just shoving these mics out of the way, running for it.
No. That never goes away.
Absolutely no doubt in my mind.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the quote is, but like at some point in a boy's life, he picks up a stick for the first time, and it's not a stick, it's a sword. And for the rest of your life, you will pick up sticks, and they will forever after be swords.
That's funny.
Yeah. That never goes away. Be 80 years old walking with a cane, and you're like, yeah, I got my sword right here.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
They have cane guns now.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I mean, I'm sure they've had them before, but they have cane guns.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're more common back in the day, but
talk about stupid gear you don't need. I still want that. They used to advertise it in Black Belt magazine. You ever see the like? I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a battle umbrella, where it's like
I'll imagine it's like the penguin when he like flips over his umbrella.
No, it's not that neat. It's not that. It's just you could beat the shit out of things. It's like a super tough umbrella.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like an asp.
I think it's a little stretchier.
Do they still use
like,
asps in the force?
I mean, we don't use them, but we have them.
You do.
Like, the only time I've used it was to pry an arm out when I couldn't spiral ride.
Okay.
Okay. Just
pry it out.
No. Let's go back a second. You said you were going to get in trouble for doing the Kimura.
So I mean, like, as I've had more time on the force, I've kind of like, and like my the sergeant overtraining at the time, he talked to me about it too, and he was like, like once you get out there, you're going to go back to what you trained, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that.
Okay.
And and if they do question me about it, like I'll tell them like, I thought it was the safest, most effective way to affect the arrest. You know what I mean? Like like everything we do,
Comes down to a judgment call.
Well, yeah, I mean judgment call, but like everything like Blue Jitsu we do, it is like based upon us trying to increase officer safety and suspect safety.
Okay.
Right. In that order. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I don't think I've ever heard anybody having a heart attack from a taser, but it might happen or something like that. Sure. I think that you're probably better off using some form of grappling to get the hand in if you feel confident in it. Mm. There's sometimes you won't, like not that Vita's not Vita. Vita's a girl we train with, but not that Vinny isn't a badass. Zito, sorry.
Yeah, one of those Italian names.
It's okay.
Luigi.
Don't go Mario though. That's racist.
One of the guys I used to wrestle, his name was Mario Pulcini.
Jesus.
Yeah, you couldn't get more Italian than that. He's a nice guy. He's a really good wrestler. But yeah, I think that's kind of one of those things. Like it is right. Like we don't want to have to be, also like another thing with tasing is there's a, like we go over like times it's probably not the best time to tase somebody. Like, oh, they're on a bridge. Yeah, I mean,
right.
We're like,
I want to pull them away from the edge, not lock all the muscles up while they're standing.
But I do think that there is whenever you aren't controlling somebody, there's a bigger risk of a bad fall, which is is a real threat with grappling.
Of course.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. But anyhow, so one of the things. Sorry, just to bring that back a little bit. So when you were saying that they didn't want you to use the Kimura in your training, was it because they were concerned about like the suspect's arm, or were they just like that's not the right way to control the situation?
Not the right way to control the situation.
Okay.
And
if he's reaching for the gun,
right, shoot him. No, I get that. I just want to make sure that because in my mind, as soon as you said it, I'm like, well, that's got to be like one of the best arrest techniques to put a guy's arm behind his back.
Are we doing a technique day? I didn't bring my shorts. I'll grab shorts if we are.
Yeah, we can.
I'll show you guys some of the stuff we do for that.
Okay.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Well, let's go do it now because dude, look how late it is. This is probably the longest podcast.
It could be.
No, I think it is.
Okay.
It's got to be.
Top 5.
No, it's got to be the longest.
We'll give him something to listen to on his next ride up here.
For sure.
Yeah, we can hear me freaking sound like an idiot up here. Yeah.
Let's now that you've said it that way, let's wrap it up.
So
I want to make sure he says what he wants to say.
Oh, no, I mean, I think I said everything.
Well, let's get your Instagram.
Yeah, so at Blue Jitsu Lexington on Instagram, Blue Jitsu on Facebook. I'm Sam Ferguson. I'm not secret about my name on Facebook. I should probably change that.
After this podcast, yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, whatever. You can send me a friend request. I'll accept it, and if you get annoying or something like that, I'll probably unfriend you. Yeah. Or you can unfriend me. One of the two.
One of these two things will happen.
Yeah. And then, my Instagram is Gravy Rooster 215.
Not pheasant.
No. Well, so like the Carlson mascot is the rooster. I mean, we had the Bulldogs and the Roosters, so I am Gravy Rooster at the time. My weight class was 215. I used to bounce back and forth between 202 and 215.
Okay.
It all makes sense now.
It does.
Yeah. Which is also the way I wrestle in high school. I haven't changed at all since high school, basically.
Damn.
Nah, not quite. But I've changed, but you know what I'm
Minimal
saying.
change.
Right.
Yeah. Resisting the change.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap it up. All right, let's go do some technique. And thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
It's been cool.
It was definitely a good time.
We'll see you. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. For more information about Grappler Union Podcast, you could visit us at our website at grapplerunion.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Grappler Union. Please like us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. And all of our episodes are available on our YouTube channel. Say what?
Be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to all that shit. You got to do another take, right?
Oh.